welcome back to Candlekeep Mysteries, our Christmas campaign, and this is the last adventure. The last two parts are upon us today and tomorrow. And today we have a lovely bunch of players with us today. I will be a DM for the evening. My name is Daria, and I play on Thursday with the Humblewood crew usually. But let's see who else we have today. Let's go left to right. Malaika, tell us about yourself a little bit. Are you muted right now? Yep.
I started talking and I was like, oh, I'm still on mute. Hi, everyone. I am Malaika. I'm a singer, actress, show gremlin about town in Western Australia. Good times. It's end of year, so preparing for Christmas mostly with everything else, and I'm more or less celebrating my first anniversary of starting to play D&D with this series, because I think this is the one where I first started last year. So yeah, good times. I don't have out of things to say, so on to the next person.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm glad that you can celebrate your 1 year of D&D with us. That's exciting. All right, Ardanna, whomst are you?
I be Ardanna or Joe or Oi, you there, if Lilith has any say in it. Hi, I see you. I am the GM and channel runner over at the Lorite, and I completely forgot what I was going to say, so let's go.
Oh, and by the way, Hogan, thank you very much for 100 bits to the channel. Thank you, thank you. Happy holidays to you. And next we have, well, the tag says Rivera, but this here is actually Brendan. Brendan, tell us about yourself.
Look, I reckon I could play Rivera. I can just bring up the character sheet and whip out my falsetto, and it will be sick.
Okay, can you like introduce yourself in falsetto then?
Hello, I'm Rivera. I'm not gonna do that. That's basically just Eric's voice. I'm Brendan. A lot of you probably already know me. I play Redding, and when the windows are swapped over, that will be a little more clear, hopefully. And can I just take this time out to, I mean, you were probably like this yesterday, well, last session as well, Daria, but you're very Christmassy with your lipstick and the lights, and also your voice is very ASMR-ish tonight. So I just wanted to throw out that appreciation and that acknowledgement.
Thank you. Last Candlekeep when I was DMing, Josh would not let me live down the fact that when I DM my voice changes. So I'll take the compliment, I guess.
Mm.
All right. Thank you, Brendan. And we have Roe. Tell us about yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Roe Rowe. I'm a Perth-based educator and theatre maker. You can catch me on Corsairs Cove on Monday, usually in the Humblewood universe, or right here. This is my last one for the 12 Days of Christmas this year, but I had the pleasure of playing with Daria on Tuesday as well. It's been a fun little run. Or you can catch me on Instagram at Crowdventurers to see photos of my dog Charlie with the large ears, my many travel adventures, and any upcoming projects if you happen to be in Perth.
Very nice, very nice. Our wonderful tech for the evening is Mother of Bunnies. Thank you very much, Karen, for your help. And a couple of announcements before we get into the session. First of all, we are running a giveaway for a voucher for the Trollord Gaming. You can type !ticket in chat and you will be able to enter the draw and win a chance to get some nice TTRPG goodies. Also, Corsairs Cove is affiliated with Wooten Forge, who are purveyors of wonderful wooden paraphernalia for gaming, and you should absolutely check them out. And if you do check them out, and maybe perhaps want a little late Christmas present for yourself or your loved ones, Corsairs Cove will get a little kickback, so that's very good as well. And the music that you are hearing, I am not, but I'm sure you are. The music you're hearing is from Sirenscape. Thank you very much, Sirenscape, for the lovely ambient tunes. Also, Ro, can you tell us a little bit about charity?
So, unless you've been living under an exceptionally large rock, you'd be aware that the people of Ukraine have been dealing with a lot of shit for quite a while now. There's a war going on over there. It's impacted a huge number of people. And if you happen to have a few pennies in your donation pocket that you'd be willing to give to charity, there is a link in chat for the Emergency Action Appeal, which is a group that support Ukraine and are trying to make their lives that little bit better. So if you can, we'd really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And today we are continuing the adventure of Zikran's Zephyr Tome. And last time our intrepid adventurers found a book that was locked and couldn't be opened by anything except salt water. And when they did open the book, a genie was trapped inside and implored Avowed to help him track down the wizard who trapped Genie inside there for years. And the group agreed. The journey took them to an abandoned laboratory of the wizard, where a young bronze dragon now resides. The genie is with the group in a floating book, but the dragon, unfortunately, was not the most accommodating. Young and haughty creature, the dragon decided that these worms are not fit to just peruse the hoard, and when they tried to trick the dragon, unfortunately, they got caught and got into a fight with the beast. So, as the fight was going on, everyone except Rivera suddenly disappeared. And one by one, new flashes of light appear in this underwater cave. Jenny, you suddenly appear in a gust of wind, and a few sparks fly out around you. What would you be doing before this sudden teleportation?
So Jenny has spent a long time on her own tinkering away with a new idea she had, and right before she was teleported out, she had finished the prototype for a construct mount looking like a squirrel, but the size of a medium human. She was just testing the rideability of this squirrel when she was blamfed into this cave, meaning that, well, if we are underwater, she would have been sinking to the bottom, sitting on top of this squirrel. Luckily, neither she nor the squirrel need to breathe, so she's completely fine with this.
The underwater cave right now is not filled with water, but you can see corals and dampness on the floor. So right now, everyone is not suffocating, thankfully. But,
nice. Okay.
Yeah. And remind us, please, who is Jenny?
Jenny is a autonome bard. She was created by the College of Creation, and her creator unfortunately passed away from old age about 3 years ago now. And after that, Jenny came to Candlekeep and has been making a living out of retrieving lost books.
Very nice.
Being a autonome, she is a construct. So think warforged, but tiny. She's only 2 feet tall.
Very cute. All right. Milo, you also appear suddenly in this underwater cave. You see bits of wood and furniture strewn about, and you see a huge creature right before your eyes. It is a young bronze dragon. You see a couple of your friends. What would you be doing right before the teleportation?
I think Milo has a little bit of momentum to her, because prior to this, she was Oh no, wait. Still momentum, but for a different reason. For those of you who are familiar with the character of Dolph, who is played by Josh the Pirate, Milo has a scam that she is fully aware of and Dolph is not, in which she will be his lucky bowling ball in various challenge tournaments that they will enter. And the reason why Dolph is such an excellent bowler is questioned by no one, least of all himself. So I believe they would have perhaps been in the middle of what Dolph considers to be a game, what Milo knows is fully a scam because she's betting on it. And he was probably about to bowl his winning strike when all of a sudden she was blamped out of existence. So she's actually sort of tucked herself and looking like a little stone, because Milo is a stone gnome, and she likes to travel when she can gather the momentum by sort of tucking herself into a ball and rolling around the place. And so in her sort of ball rock stone form, she would kind of be blamped into existence and perhaps roll and be stopped by one of the walls of the room. So there's just kind of a little sort of, what is the ground made of?
It's mostly stone and coral.
Okay, so there is a little bit of a kind of like, as she continues to roll, and then like a boom, and then as she sort of pops up into herself a little, she has half a foot on, she's only 2.5, 2.5 feet tall, as she pops up into her standing position, and she's sort of looking around a little startled and looks up at the dragon and is like, oh, well, that's a big fella right there. And looks around at everyone else and is like, oh, this is unexpected.
It sure is. And at the same time, as the balled up gnome rolls around the room, Redding, you and Sarah appear in the space as well. Tell us what you would be doing before this.
The last major thing that Red was doing was helping to investigate a tower in the Candlekeep that had been causing some tremors. Ardanna has nothing to do with. So I think that Red and Sarah would have been at Candlekeep helping with to like patch some fissures or something. So Sarah would be a white dragon at the moment, and Redding's scar, Redding, who is a Drake Warden Ranger, his scar would look frostbitten. So he would come in yelling something to Sarah probably, and then look over and see the dragon and say, "Oh, hello fella, how are you? Hey everyone, are you alright? You don't look too happy, mate." And I will say that bit in Draconic.
Oh, all right, very nice. You see the creature who looks surprised by the sudden change in who it's fighting, snaps its head around at all of you and says, "More treacherous worms, we, Ashgarleth, did not permit these trespasses." And I would like all of the new players, please roll initiative.
15 from Jenny.
Jenny 15, that's very good.
24 for Redding.
Do you want me to roll
damn.
for the mount as well? Or do you want me to share?
So do you wish to put it in harm's way? Do you wish to put it in battle?
No, I think Jenny will hop off and leave the squirrel. It's a prototype, so she doesn't really want it destroyed. A very expensive prototype.
That's true. All right, and then Milo, what's your?
I can't read.
You can't read.
I can't see the thing. Where is it?
Oh, did you roll the initiative?
Initiative is next to your AC on the character sheet.
Next to a little shield in the middle of your sheet.
Yep.
Sorry, I had a moment. I couldn't see it. Okay.
That's okay.
What am I doing?
You're fired.
10.
That's terrible. You get 0 mistakes. I don't know why. I've
Yeah,
got
you
one thing
cannot
right.
make
It's-
Yeah. No, 10. That's okay. That's okay. All right. So pretty much everyone except Redding has the same initiative as the previous group, because Yible had the 15. I think Garnot had a 10, so this is great. All right. But we'll start with Rivera, who saw her friends disappear, and you see now a group of new colleagues of yours popping up on the battlefield. If you need to tell them something as you take your turn, go ahead. What would you like to do?
Oh, I'm glad you're here. Dragon, problem. Kill the dragon. And then, there's also, they started it, in the space, a little bit in front of Rivera, there's a spectral bear. And as all the new people come into this space, there's like the bear kind of glistens. And everyone who is in the space, all three of you, assuming they came into where the other characters were, because they were in the zone.
Yes.
So you all get 13 temporary hit points. And you have advantage on strength checks and saves. And then Rivera is going to cast Conjure Animals. So she's going to put out her hands, and as she puts out her hands, a stream of light comes out, and the light forms into 2 bears.
More bears!
More bears! All the bears! The Bear Club. I don't know what a group of bears is called.
A honeypot.
Well, now they are, because that is great. So my honeypot of bears. So I'm gonna, as long as that's the way you want me to play it, usually I would roll initiative for them. They're a separate initiative to me. Or do you want me to keep them just on my own initiative?
I'd say grouped up together would be easier to manage. So
Yeah,
they would be
okay.
after you, I think.
Okay, cool. So my 2 bears are gonna appear. And that's it from me. And then the 2 bears are going to charge at the dragon. I was 35 feet away from the dragon, I believe.
Yes.
Cool. So they can get there. They got a 40-foot speed. So both bears are going to do a multi-attack. So bite and claws from both of them. And I will roll that on. I need to do it manually, but let's see. So first for a hit, do you want me to do it one at a time?
Just give me all of the hits, and I'll tell you which one hits and which one doesn't.
Oh my god, that was like, did you see that? 2, 2, 11, 1. What the?
All right. Well, what's that
It's
bonus to attack?
Plus 6. So there's one
Plus
17
6.
in here, and the rest of them,
Okay.
I assume, fail. 8, 8.
Unfortunately, even the 17 fails.
Oh,
The bears, the bears
Like a little
start
bit
waiting.
disorientated. They've just appeared.
Yes. So this young dragon, it's covered in greenish patina, where you can see just a little bit of the bronze peeking out, and you can see the bears try to claw at it, but all they do is just scrape off a bit of that greenish hue, and you can see the bronze scales under completely undisturbed. And after their turn, the dragon, Ashgarlith, will take her attack her what's the fucking thing called? Her legendary action. Yeah, I forgot for a second what that is. Her legendary action to attack one of the people around, which would be everyone except Rivera. Let's go for, well, let's roll. How about that? Let's roll. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Milo, you you get out of your ball, say, "Oh, hello," and you see a huge claw coming closer to you. But maybe the dragon will miss. I don't think that's gonna miss actually. That's 19 to hit.
Hit me. Is she trying to pick me up or anything like that in any sense, or is he just literally?
No,
like,
he's just trying to attack you with its claws.
Oh no.
What's your AC?
My armor class. It's 14.
Oh, well, then it surely does hit. Okay. Well, all right. But you do have temporary HP. Don't forget about that. So that's a 9.
What is it? Is this something that I can use uncanny dodge? Or no?
Uncanny dodge. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I have that.
What does it say? Can you dodge an attack? Can you half an attack?
Yeah, when an attacker you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to halve the attack's damage against you.
Very good. So the attack overall would be 14. You can have it to 7. So out of your temporary HP, take out 7, and you still have a little bit of temp HP above your normal health right now, which is good. Very nice, very nice. All right. So as you guys are in this room, you can see that this used to be a laboratory. You see bits of furniture, and you see a small mound of treasure under the dragon. Both Milo and Redding, you guys are right next to a bookshelf. There's a bunch of different books there, but you can see 4 leather-bound books are on the floor, and you can see one book of pale blue leather open, floating right next to you, and you can see a strange ghostly face of a genie looking at you surprisedly and says, "Oh, new masters, welcome. We're kind of in a pickle right now." And Redding, it is your turn. If you want to talk about something real quick, you can.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on?
The genie says, my name is Gaz for friends. We're fighting
like,
this.
Yeah, are we? Yeah, cool. Okay, great. Can I? Being a guy who is somewhat acquainted with dragons, do I know anything about bronze dragons in terms of their demeanor or their habits or anything?
Give me an Arcana or Nature, depending.
Okay.
Depending on what you roll, you might get different information.
Sure.
You can even give insight if you want to discern this particular creature's disposition, because you are aware of how dragons act.
Yeah, I think it will be insight, not only because it's better for me, but also because I'm trying to get a handle on this specific situation.
No problem.
Well, that's an 8.
That is indeed an 8.
It looks like I have advantage or inspiration, so can I roll that again?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can. If you want to use inspiration now, you're more than welcome to.
That's worse. So
that's worse. Yikes.
Sick.
Okay. Yeah. So 8. Yep. Okay. So this dragon definitely seems pretty angry. I think even passive knowledge for Redding would be enough to know that metallic dragons aren't strictly evil ever. They're usually either neutral or good, but as you look around, you see that this is a very young dragon who perhaps is having its first horde here, and intruders are definitely not something that is welcome. And you can see, like right under your feet, the 4 of the books. You can discern that someone from your party perhaps either try to destroy it, try to take it. It's unclear in the situation, but the dragon is prideful and angry.
Yeah. Oh, you fuckers. Okay. Is anyone hurt?
Well, Milo's just kind of laying on the ground and a bit like, oh my hell.
But like,
I think Rivera was not
majorly hurt,
damaged.
right?
I look battered, not like bloody, but I look battered. I think you may have forgotten, Daria, but you hit me with a fucking lightning bolt.
I do remember that. Yes. The thought crossed my mind.
But yeah, she's not bloody, but yeah, she's had a few hits.
Great. Well, not great for you. I am going to cast Healing Spirit on Rivera, which will take effect on Rivera's next turn. And there will be 3 uses of that. The spirit looks like a giant spectral claw of a dragon.
Nice. Not scary at all.
Yeah, well, you know. Red isn't known for his gentle touch. And then he will call out to Sarah, look, he's just having a bit of a tanty. Let's just bring him down nice and peacefully, yeah? And he looks at the others pointedly when he says that. And because that was his action, he has 2 attacks. So I, if possible, would like to do some non-lethal arrow attacks. So maybe like trying to pin down the claws or something, like focusing on the feet. Or in ways that he knows would not, like, missing vital organs and stuff. Is that possible or no?
I think you can try to, like, batter the wings of the dragon. I think that would be considered a non-lethal, but still quite a stinky move. You can give it a go.
Okay. How much space is there in this place as well? Is there enough room for it to like fly around?
Yes. So the cave itself is pretty spacious. There is a corridor leading out of it behind you guys. The space is about 30 feet in diameter, in both directions, and about 30 feet up as well. It's like a half a dome, and you can see that most of the walls are covered in algae and a little bit of coral, and above the dragon, above the dais where it keeps its hoard, you can see a magical window with very strong and thick slab of glass that brings in a little bit of sunlight from the waters above. So you know that you're underwater, and you can see that there's a lot of space for the dragon to fly, but not too much.
Yeah. And what's the light situation? Is it dim? Is it bright, dark?
I'd say there is enough light from the window up top, so that you don't need to rely on your dark vision. But the corners of the room are pretty dim.
Okay. And one last question. Am I within melee of it? Because you said that Milo and I are both...
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You teleported to a place that was taken by your ally before that.
Sure. My ally, probably the bastard who pissed off the dragon in the first place. All right.
Thank Hjort for that one.
I will later. Cool. In that case, being in melee, I'm gonna pull out my shield and short sword, or whatever. Yeah, short sword, and try and get in its face, and lunge up and try to attack the wing.
So you pull out 2 weapons?
No, one weapon and a shield.
Ah, a shield. Uh-huh. Does that require to have 2 actions?
You tell me. He would have had nothing. So it's up to you.
I'm not interested in looking up the rules right now. Let's just say that you do it and move it along.
Yeah, great. Cool. He will attack twice.
All right. Let's go.
The first is an 18.
That hits.
The second is a 12.
That does not.
Okay. Cool. So that will be 10 damage.
10 damage.
And
That's not bad.
Sarah is going to use her reaction to breathe some ice on it. So 3 cold damage on top.
3 cold damage. Alrighty. Although the bears Revere summoned did not do any damage, they were enough to at least distract the dragon a little bit. So when it turns to snarl at the bears, you poke it with a short sword in the clavicle, and you see a little bit of blood trickle down. All right, is that
non-lethal? Yeah, that's me.
Non-lethal, yes. I think
non-lethal
with the short
damage.
sword. Yeah, with a short sword, at least it is easier to do non-lethal, I'd say.
Yeah, great.
All right.
That's me.
Very good. On the count 20, the dragon will once again try to use its newly acquired lair action, and I would like everyone except Revera, because Revera is still pretty far away, to give me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm assuming I'm rolling for the 2 bears.
Yes.
Do you want me to roll them
Hold on.
separately or together?
I
Roll
am
them together, I
going
don't mind.
to use my inspiration on that one because that was disastrous.
Okie doke.
That was worse.
Oh my goodness. The dice gods
guys,
do
your
not like us
inspirations.
today.
Yeah. That was the same last time. What happened?
The bears got 8 and 4.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Yes.
Ah.
Jenny got a 7.
Nope.
I got a 17.
Nice. And Redding got a 16. Okay. Redding, do you also need to roll for Sarah separately?
I do. Thank you for reminding me.
No problem.
As we're doing this, you can see the squirrel that Jenny arrived on just standing there with its arms crossed, just like looking at you. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Milo and Redding, you guys definitely succeed. Everyone else, unfortunately, does not. Ravira, you notice something. So once again, the dragon stomps and lets out a roar, and that same thunder starts to reverberate around the room. But as it uses the delay action a second time, you can see the dragon become more confident in this newfound ability, and there's more damage this time. And you can see tiny bits of coral and algae start to drop from the walls and the ceiling around you with the force of these vibrations. So everyone who did not succeed, you guys are deafened until the next count 20. Yes, and you get 2d10 damage. That is 13 thunder damage.
There goes
Do
my
Milo and
temp.
I take half of that? Or
No,
avoid it?
if you succeed, you do not take damage.
Cool.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yes,
how much did
my-
you say again?
13.
13.
Ardanna?
My temp hit points are gone.
Yep. All right. That was the lair action, and next is the dragon. The dragon feels this wave of confidence from seeing its lair answer the call of the dragon blood within it, and it will use the breath. Oh wait, it used the breath weapon before. Let's see if it recharges. It does. All right. So it can use the lightning breath, but only on the two that it can see in front of it. Everyone else is not positioned quite well. Okay, it can choose Sarah or Milo.
Or the bears.
Or the bears. I don't think it will choose the bears. The bears did not attack it at all, although they tried.
They tried.
I will actually roll for something for the dragon because it sees the pet dragon next to Redding, and the snarl of the prideful dragon Redding lets you know that she sees this as an offense. She will focus her breath attack on you and your pet, and she will snarl. Who dares to think that they can slave a dragon? And you guys need to give me a dex saving throw. I'm sure you'll do well.
Okay. I mean, I will probably do fine. No, I won't. I rolled a natural 1.
Dude!
Do I have to do one as well? Or?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It can only take 2, unfortunately, because you're like all around it. Oof.
Let me figure out what she's adding. She's adding
Okey-doke.
5 to that, so 14.
14, unfortunately, just under what you needed. And chat, remember that you can give inspiration to the to the players or me if you feel so inclined, because the dice are certainly not helping our intrepid heroes. Well, that's gonna be a cheeky little 10d10 to you, lovelies. Let's see how that goes. So that's a neat little 50 damage lightning to both Redding and Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. How are you looking?
Look, I'm under half, and Sarah is dead.
Fully dead?
Yeah, she only has 55 total.
Well, 55. That's not enough to make her dead, though.
No, she already took damage from the lair action.
Right, but as far as...
No, so
she's unconscious.
when the Drake... No, she disappears. Drake companions, they disappear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so interesting. So, Redding, you see this prideful dragon with anger in its eyes completely destroy your companion. What does Redding think about this situation? What does he feel when he sees that?
I think rather than thinking anything, he would just express it. She's not my pet, you fucking idiot. She's my daughter, and you just killed her.
All right. Redding, I will give you a check. Give me intimidation or persuasion. It's up to you what you want to do.
Well, his charisma score is a 3.
Listen, I'm sure you can roll a very good one at least once.
Well, I mean, I rolled a natural 1 on my dex, so we'll see. Okay,
I
so
believe in it.
charisma, intimidation, or persuasion, they're both a -4.
Jesus.
I assume this is a straight roll.
Yes, unless someone gives you an inspiration in chat.
Well, I think
Lilith
you
is
have
saying,
you might,
give me points.
you might have an inspiration already.
I used it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Can I give Redding my D4?
I think sure.
Yeah. So you can have the D4 I was given a while back.
Oh, thanks. Hey, that's a 3 on top of that. So I actually didn't roll terribly. So, I mean, it brings it up to an 11, which isn't great. But from
11, okay.
-4...
and you have
Alright.
an inspiration again because psychologist got you one.
Oh yes. Okay.
Thank
You
you
can
so
try and
much.
reroll if you want.
yeah, and I got a natural 20. Thank you, Psycho.
Oh,
Nice.
that's good. Okay, that's good. As
And it will be
points-
intimidation.
Yeah, I assume
I'm
so.
scolding this
Yeah.
naughty girl.
Yeah. All right. So your voice echoes through the halls, and you can see that this is indeed a very young dragon. It, as you can see, it tries to, find its food as a young dragon, as a powerful being, but its bravado and its haughtiness are clearly a front. And as you say these scathing words, as a true anger and power of your words reaches it, you can see that there's a flash of confusion, of fear in the dragon's eyes, and it stands there with the raised claw, doesn't really know what to do. So it will not take an action until the next turn. This is a chance for you to guys either wail on it or talk to it. It's up to you. But next in the order is Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny hops off has hopped off the squirrel and is running forward. And on the way, she turns to Redding in very concerning way, because Construct, her head turns a little bit too far, and she just calls out, "Punish or contain." She asks Redding, what should she do?
Let's force this girl into having a nap.
Okay, I'll try. And she is going to once again, Redding has, I think Redding was there for this, but she puts her fingers out and draws a box like this in front of her, and then pushes it towards the dragon. And as it lands, it's a 20-foot square box, so it's gonna cover a huge bit of this area. And let me see, as she casts Nether's Mischief on the dragon.
Nice. Can you elect not to touch your allies?
No.
Okay, in that case, you could choose who you will touch with it, because you guys are kind of around the dragon. You have Milo, Redding.
Milo, who is still very confused at the moment.
Poor Milo. Yeah. And the bears behind. So you can either take the bears or the friends.
Think of the bear.
You can. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the bears because
Okay,
they're.
poor bears.
Yeah.
The honey bears!
So each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or begin giggling until the start of my next turn. A giggling creature is incapacitated and uses all its movement to move in a random direction.
I do like the idea of the giggling bears, though. So what do we do? Do we do a saving throw?
It's a wisdom saving throw, DC 16. And you get the scent of cinnamon rolls filling this whole cave.
Nice. Unfortunately, the dragon rolled 18 on its wisdom.
Yes.
What about the bears?
17 and 13.
Okay, so one giggling bear.
One of the bears and slaps its friend on the back. All right. Anything else, Jenny?
She is still looking at who. Yeah, she's gonna look over this time to Rivera and say, "I'm sure you can do it," and give bardic inspiration. And I need you to pick. Where did it go? Moto potential, ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Saving throw, please.
Nice. Okay. So whenever you use your the bardic inspiration die, you get temporary hit points equal to the number rolled on the die plus 4.
Nice.
I believe, sorry, Ardanna, can't that be chosen like as the roll comes up? Like she doesn't need to assign it now, does she?
No, she doesn't need to assign it now. It's more like what it would look like. It's more for flavor. So you get a snowflake around that's now rotating around your head. I have different flavors for the rolls.
Yeah,
so
right.
Nice. All right.
whatever
Very
you
good.
choose later, I'll tell you how it works.
Where do you want to be, Jenny?
So the spell I just cast has a 60 foot, but this room is 30. She would be slightly to the side, but
How far from the dragon?
let's say, well, if the room is 30 feet in diameter, she would have run in close. Hoping that she would be too close for like a big attack to
Okay.
be effective.
So you're next
She's
to the
not that
giggling bear.
smart.
That's fair.
She's not that smart.
All right, but good turn. And next we have Milo. Poor confused Milo.
Yes.
Poor Milo. She stood up. Her brain's rattled from getting bopped on the head by this thing, and now someone's daughter's dead, and everyone's screaming and carrying on, and there's a bear chuckling in the back corner. She was just trying to have a bowling tournament. She's having a really hard time right now. Okay, so Milo is very keen not to get bopped again, so she has what is it? My wondrous item is the cloak of elven kind. So the first thing she does when she pops up is put her hood up, so she's no longer visible to this angry dragon that I think she's still very in close proximity to. Roughly, where am I? I think I'm at the front of the dragon.
You're right next to Redding.
Right next to Redding, and it's like
I don't think it makes you invisible, however.
not quite. No. She pops the cloak up as like a measure, and then she's gonna back up.
So you can take your action to disengage. Oh, you're rogue. You can do a bonus action to disengage, if I remember correctly. Is that something? I think it is.
If I remember correctly, as if you don't play a rogue.
Listen.
Oh, to be fair, your rogue doesn't need to. You just leave.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
disengage at all, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think rogues have bonus action dash, hide, and disengage.
Yeah.
So
Oh, pulling the hood up, though, requires an action. So you can choose to pull the hood up, or you can disengage with a bonus action and then attack or cast a magic.
okay. Disengage is probably what she needs to do to back up a little
Okay,
bit.
that's
so
a bonus
moving,
action.
and then I think I'll do the tooth. I'll disengage and put the hood up because I think does that technically count as using an object? Putting the hood up?
No,
Pulling a hood
putting
up
your
will
hood
be your
up.
action.
And then the disengage is a bonus action.
Yeah, so you can do both, or you
Okay.
can do disengage and something else. That's on you.
Okay. She does both to get out of the immediate line of fire, and just you hear like a little yell as she backs away, mostly Redding, of like, if anyone would care to explain to me what exactly is happening at the moment, I'd be much appreciated. Are we fighting or are we negotiating? It's a bit confusing at the moment. I'm not going to lie to you.
No time.
No,
Alrighty.
Okay, all right.
All right. Still even more confused. Milo
Yeah.
is at least out of immediate danger. That's good. All right. And then Ravira. So you can see this turn, Dragon is hesitating to use its legendary action. So you're unimpeded. What would you like to do, Ravira?
All right. So, Ashgil, it seems we got off on the wrong foot, but you know, Sarah really was very nice, and I feel like we should all stop fighting now because I'd like to go and give. Well, I don't know if he'll let me give him a hug, but I'd like to try and give my friend Fred a hug because that's not very nice that you killed. And so maybe we should just stop. What do you say?
Okay. Would you like to roll persuasion?
Sure.
Thankfully, no one's attack landed in that time, I should say, so you don't have disadvantage on it. But it is a 5.
I'm gonna burn my. Do I have an inspiration? I think I do.
Yes, you do. Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna
At
burn
least
my
it looks like it on
inspiration and give
stream.
it another 16.
Let's go. 16. That's much better. Do you have any D4s? No D4s.
Oh, can I use the bardic inspiration on that one?
Yep, yep, you can. So if you want to use it on, let me find it. If you want to use it on an ability check, you can roll the bardic inspiration die twice, and choose which roll to use to add to your roll.
What number die is it? 10?
It's a D8,
D8.
if I remember.
Nice.
Right. Let me double check. No, it's a D10. My bad.
Oh,
Oh.
well, I rolled D8s. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll again for D10s. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm. What if you get a 10? You do get a 10. Nice.
I did get a 10.
Hey.
Nice.
Okay,
so
so
you
that's
add a
a
10
26.
to the. Yep.
That's good. That is more than enough. The DC was 20 for this, and you see that for the first time as you guys come in here, there's a flash of sympathy from the dragon. It has been prepared to protect its horde and protect its brand as a dragon, but as you try to show compassion to your friend, you see the dragon look between the two of you and looks down at the space where Sarah used to stand, and it raises its claws and says, "Fine, worms, speak then."
Rivera is
And currently you're out of combat.
Rivera is gonna run over to Red and try to hug.
He is probably just looking at the dragon in fury. So he's not going to fight you off or anything. And if you come up to him, he'll put one arm around you. And then he'll kind of pat you on the back and push you forward a bit and say, what the fuck is going on? Let's sort this shit out before someone else gets hurt.
Well, we're looking for the wizard who imprisoned Gaz, but it turns out they don't live here anymore because Ashgirlith here has ran them out of town, and so we were trying to read the journals to see where they went, and then this happened.
So you were just trying to read the books and not take them away?
Oh no, we said we wouldn't take anything. We just wanted to read them. But
Did you ask permission?
yes, of course, we even made a trade.
The dragon
Red will
grumbles.
look meaningfully and furiously at the dragon.
The dragon grumbles and says, "Trade was 1 for 1, and your moose friend tried to trick me."
Well, this is why we can speak. We use our words. When we're upset, we can renegotiate.
Papa Redding is angry.
Isn't that right? Is it Akashia?
Ashgarleth.
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 Isn't that right, Ashgarleth?
Roll another intimidation with advantage.
Okay.
Now, I feel that was a little bit of an overreaction, but I also understand being very protective of what you have. So, maybe I can add, like, I have a... Nice!
Nice, that's a natural 20. Minus 4 though, but still, that's pretty good. As Redding, acts like I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. The kind of dad. You can see the dragon kind of like avoids Redding's eyes, and as it becomes a bit more like embarrassed, you can see just how young this creature is. Like
how old
almost...
do I reckon it is? Can I age it?
I'd say with your knowledge, yes, it has just entered adulthood. It is barely more than a teenager in dragon years, and you can understand why the creature was so like, insecure about its position to try and posture as an adult dragon when it is clearly out of its depth. Pun included, since you're underwater. But you can see that it is a bit embarrassed and says, I see your point. You
now,
can
by
take
my
the
reckoning,
journals.
Yeah, I reckon that you've taken more than your fair share. So we're just going to read what we need to read and leave it, and then we're going to move on. Is that fine with you?
I don't suppose we could have Hjort's pipes back, seeing as he kind of went against what he traded them for.
For the love of all the gods, no, she can keep the pipes.
Oh.
Yeah. You can see a flash of greed. It is still a dragon. It is unhappy about thinking about giving you back something.
Hjort will be sad.
I can trade you if you want. I have a drum.
Please,
if
no.
you want.
She can keep the pipes.
Well, I was gonna give her a set of drums instead.
It's okay. It's just Hjort was going to play them at the Christmas party with his wife.
I'll make him some new ones. They'll be amazing.
Oh, lovely. All right, I'm gonna have a look at the
we
journals.
can make new pipes.
If this isn't gonna make any sense at any point soon, I suppose I'll head over to the books then. And she just sort of begins to trot towards the books that the people. Does she have to pass the dragon to get to
No.
Okay.
The books are right next to Redding and next to the flying genie trapped in a book who follows you and peers at the books together.
Yeah, she gives the dragon a bit of a glare and is kind of like, begging your pardon, your scaliness, and then just looks down.
All right, what you see around you, Milo, you see 4 journals. All are leather bound. One of them is maroon, one is emerald color, one is dark yellow, and one is black.
Are they blank or is there writing? Or what's...
No. You just tell me which one you want to inspect.
Okay.
Because they have different.
We were trying to work out which one is the newest when this started. Rivera's going to come over and pick up Run randomly to open it to the first page to see if she can see some things in there.
So which one would you want to pick up, Rivera?
The orange one.
Dark yellow, sure. Okay. Can you okay, first of all, you open it. You see that this one is not necessarily a diary, more like a collection of diagrams and schematics of some strange contraption. To your druidic mind, it seems a little confusing, but you can give it a go and give me an Arcana check if you so desire.
18.
18, that's not bad. So, what you understand from these schematics is that these are diagrams of some kind of magical cannon. And with 18, you understand that it is powered by elemental air, but that is as much as you can gather with your check.
The whole book, or just the page that I happened to open?
Yeah, the whole book. This
Oh,
book is
okay.
like different variations on these diagrams, schematics, as if Zikran was trying to figure the object out.
Well, on the ground, Milo's gonna start flipping through the black leather bound.
Mm-hmm. All right. The black one is apparently a ledger. There are like columns of the things that Zikran bought, the things that Zikran sold, and he clearly was trading mostly in things such as like food needed for survival, ink, magical components as well. And if someone wants to, they can give me an Arcana check on this one as they read it to try and figure out what kind of magic components would lead to what kind of magic in his disposal.
I mean, I can try. I'm not.
Yep. Give me a go. It's Arcana.
Okay. 19.
19. Okay. So you see that even if you don't understand the importance of most of these magical components, even with your knowledge, it's clear that he's a powerful wizard, a powerful spellcaster. Most of the magical components written up here you don't recognize, but you can recognize one of the components, and that one is for conjure elemental. So there are instances needed for spell conjure elemental. That's what you get.
Huh. Share this with the people. Seems this magic man was a powerful feller, conjuring elementals and such.
Oh. Well, I suppose-
Gaz nods, the genie, and says, yes, Zikran, although a sinister individual, was quite well learned, and, well, he was always, as a water genasi, he was for some reason always enamored by the idea of light and air. Oh, by the way, I where are my manners? My name is Gazri Azam, and who are you, Master Gnome?
Which one of us?
Quite. Well, I suppose I would like to know all of the names of my new masters.
Hiya, I'm Milo. I'm still quite confused about what's happening here, but I have a book of ledgers from a conjurer, and hopefully context will come along as we continue out of this cave. It's awful damp in here.
True, but it's lovely to meet you, Master Milo the Confused.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Jenny, and I'm Noma's master, although maybe Timber over here might call me that, though I wouldn't understand why.
Very nice to meet you, and please, you are my masters currently. You are in possession of my book. And as for you, oh angry one, what should I call you?
Well, I'm no one's master either, and he gives the dragon a side eye. But you can call me Red.
All right, Master Red. And you should
Or
know.
if you must, Master Hayes Scorn. Which is probably the first time he's mentioned his surname, but it seems appropriate right now.
Master Hayscorn.
Hayes Scorn. Yeah.
Hayes Scorn. Lovely. We're getting some backstory here. You can see the book fly a bit closer to you and says, well, Master Hayes Scorn, you should know that in return for the help that your group generously is giving me, I am unfortunately not at the height of my power, but as a genie, I would be able to fulfill one wish for all of you. And he meaningfully looks at the spot next to you.
Let's discuss that later, eh?
I've just
All right. Well,
realised
there are two more books. Yes.
there's still a bear giggling in a corner.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yes.
True.
Well, oh yeah, I forgot to drop
The other bear is probably like poking it by this point. Like there's one bear just having a
a
massive,
bit shit.
and the other bear is like, what the fuck?
Oh, the spell only lasts for a minute, but you know.
Well, that my totem lasts for a minute, but those. Oh, they're laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe they just enjoyed it then.
I like the idea that Jenny could have ended the spell early and chose not to.
Really adds to the serious ambience of the scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
What color are the other journals? Oh,
The other two are maroon and emerald.
I'm gonna pick up the emerald one.
The emerald one. Okay. So you look through this one, and this one is indeed one of the personal journals that Zikran was keeping. Looking through the writing, the tone of this one is quite hopeful and quite ambitious. You can see him talk about multiple different projects that he had over the years, and he indeed talks about the help and knowledge he received from Gaz. Although from the tone of how he describes Gaz, he sees him as nothing but a tool. He's not concerned with the fact that he was keeping Gaz next to him with false promises, and only concerned with the continuation of his scientific research. In one of the sections, of which many of them talk about his ambition to have a cloud fortress that he would be using to traverse the skies, in one of those dreamy sections, you can see a map that describes a route to a mountain range further south, labeled the Cloud Peaks. Rivera, could you please give me a nature check?
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. 25 as is expected from a druid. You know of these mountains. These are mountains further down the coastline, which you can still reach using the boat of the mariner that you rented out before. You know that these mountains are dangerous, quite high, and your knowledge is enough to tell you that they used to be home to cloud giants in the years past. Yeah, but one of the mountains in this mountain range is circled in ink and scratched in the corner. Must be here.
Which one is circled?
One of the higher peaks. You would recognize it if you saw the mountains.
Oh, Ash Gareth. Now, we did ask, but I wasn't clear on your answer. Zirkan, was he here when you arrived?
I saw some wizard here. I drove them off.
Okay, you did drive them off. I just wanted to check that is what happened. Okay, because the Cloud Peaks might be a good place to keep looking, everyone.
Gaz pipes up and says, that must be his next objective then. If I couldn't give him the fortress in the clouds, he probably thought that the cloud giants would be the next possible source of knowledge.
Oh, fantastic. Giants. Okay. Are you going to look at that last one, Milo, before we go?
Oh, I suppose I should. That's, what colour's left?
Maroon.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So she
All right.
shuffles over and flips it open and starts having a gaze through it.
This one is also a personal journal, Milo, and when the first one was hopeful and ambitious, the tone of this one is paranoid and lonely. You see a lot of those lines about his ambitious projects turn into rambling. He becomes frustrated and paranoid about people stealing his research and not moving fast enough, and that his little helper, as he called Gaz, is to his thought being obstinate and sabotaging his projects. And you can also find in this one that Zikran is writing about a rival named Lafa, who sought the location of this library, and Zikran, fearing the discovery, decided to pack up and leave this laboratory in quite a haste.
Oh, well, this, your bookish geniness, do you know anything about this Lapper fella mentioned? Your boss, who I don't mean to make on the stereotype about wizards who isolate themselves, but it seems he might have been a bit troubled in the head towards the end. And says here he planned on taking off, but he also mentioned the Lapper fella, so that might even be who this young dragon chased off if your bossman had already taken off at that stage. I don't know, just speculating here. I still don't really have a clue what's happening right now.
Gaz, you see, thoughtfully nod and says, "Yes, you're quite right, Master Milo. The last few months of me serving were indeed filled with mumbling and suspicion, and I do remember that Zikran was getting more and more antsy, fearing discovery from a rival wizard. I suppose that could be the case. He left, and then maybe this Laffer fellow I have never met was, looking at his research, and then Dragon came."
Oh, Ashglealith, what color was the wizard you traced off?
You can't just ask someone what color someone else is.
Oh, no, I realize that that's normally not a thing, but when someone's blue, it's quite different.
Now, Ashglealith, can you please describe the person that you chased off?
He was small and he was fearful. I was not looking for details. A dragon does not.
She doesn't see color. Can I take a bit of a look at, while the others were reading books, I probably would have been engaging in a bit of small chat with Ashglealith.
Oh, okay.
Can I take a glance at what the bulk of the horde seems to be? Is it books?
Yes. Can you give me a perception or investigation? Up to you.
Yeah, my perception is a plus 10.
Can Jenny help?
Yes, of course.
She's also looking through whatever scraps and stuff is left by the wizard.
I suppose you're not touching things; you're just looking at them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a 28.
With advantage, right?
No, that's just a straight roll.
Okay, because Jenny is helping, but I don't think you need it. You do have a 28. All right, sweet. So yes, you look over the horde, and you see that Dragon itself does not seem to be very much interested in books specifically. It seems that because she took over the laboratory of the wizard, a lot of her stuff here is other things that the wizard would have in his laboratory. So you can see some alchemical equipment, some materials for writing magical scrolls, a lot of the books, but also you see things that Dragon brought in. For example, you can see a huge skull of a shark that is clearly, as Gareth considers, as a trophy from a hunt. You can see a few golden trinkets speckled between the books and bits of furniture, and you can see one pretty big pearl that sits next to the top of the small mound. Granted, the horde is not too big. The dragon moved in here quite recently, but you can see that when the dragon sleeps, it holds that pearl as a favored item.
Yeah.
Aww.
Look, I must say this is a pretty impressive lair. good catch, and your horde's coming along nicely as well. It's very impressive.
It
been,
preens under praise.
One day you'll be a very competent dragon, I'm sure.
You see a frown on his face. I'm plenty confident. You mean one day I'll be as mighty as the ancient dragons?
Sure.
Pretty soon, I'd wager.
I actually have an idea. Because of the books here. Well, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but we're from Candlekeep.
Does not ring a bell.
Well, it is a library, one of the biggest libraries on the continent. And,
more things for my horde. Yes.
Yes, that's one of my idea. Because, like, a very, 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 very long time ago, I think she was a copper dragon as well, tried to take over Candlekeep to add to her horde.
This isn't a copper
dragon.
Oh, I do apologize. I am a little bit colorblind. I have a hard time.
See, she doesn't see color either.
No.
What is
I have a hard time
happening?
telling shiny metals apart. I do apologize. Well, this one was, if I remember right, a copper dragon, and she tried to take over Candlekeep and failed, and is now bound to Candlekeep as a ghost. So, so my idea is that if you move in and protect Candlekeep, you would have defeated an ancient copper dragon.
Interesting.
What? Wait, does Jenny speak Gnomish? Guess
Nope.
we're about.
I think
Yes.
common.
Common, deep speech, and primordial.
Oh, that's a shame because then Milo would have like just popped up listening to that entire spiel. Milo is about to say, but you will not understand. What the hell are you going on about with that?
She's cooking. Jenny's cooking.
Isn't that something we need permission from the first reader for?
I mean, we could show up there with this beautiful bronze dragon and say, hi, we found a new
Rivera,
guardian for
Milo.
Candlekeep.
Are you two done? I feel like our workroom is just about spent. I reckon we should head off. You know, maybe we'll be back if of course Ashgalith would permit it, and we can drop in and say hi, and of course bring tributes. But for now, I reckon we should scoot, eh?
Oh, okay.
You know, I've lost her voice. I don't know what she sounds like. That Imhawk. Mercy's confused as well as Milo. Okay. You know what? Yeah. Yes. Let's leave the cave. Let's go. Wherever we're headed, lead the way.
And we've got hands up. We're not bringing any of your horde with us, and we're just gonna get back on our boat. Did we come in a boat?
Well, there is a boat, but it's at the land, but we have to go through the water first. And there's some lovely kelpies that we went past on the way, but they might be a little bit confused that I come back with other people. But they're very lovely. They're just protecting their eggs. But
Ashgalith, I suppose, you know, if this is too much, please let us know. But to expedite getting us out of your home, would you possibly be willing to escort us back up to the surface to our boat?
Roll me a persuasion check, and because it's from you, I'd say with advantage. You've been a voice of authority.
Are there
in this game?
Are there any other doors or whatever in this room?
Yes, there is one wooden door that is pretty much closed on the side. It doesn't seem like Dragon was using it that much.
17 down to 13.
17. Okay. Does anyone want to empower writing speech in any way?
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't seem-
Okay. Jenny will just. Yes. I mean, I don't need to breathe, and neither does Timber. But it would. I think those who actually need to breathe could use your help so that we get out of your hair.
Okay. So, do you give inspiration to reading, or what are you doing mechanically?
I think I'm giving the help action to Redding.
He already has advantage.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I'll give him a bardic inspiration.
All right, roll that d10. That's more than 2.
It's
You can roll
three.
it twice.
Hey!
Yay! Okay, good.
You can roll
that's
it
enough.
twice and take the highest.
Sure. It probably
Because it's an
doesn't matter,
ability
but
check.
I like big numbers. Hey, that's an 8.
That's
Nice.
also very good. Yeah, but you reached the DC, which for you was 15, for everyone else was 20. So you see Dragon look you over and say, "Fine, I'll help you get to the surface, and well, you go to that Candlekeep dragon and tell it to prepare for battle then, because Ashgarlith may pay a visit one day."
Okay. Should probably tell Bookworm what I said to it.
Yep.
All right. So the dragon escorts you out of the corridors. You pass
Do
the
we-
tidal chamber room. Yes.
We go down,
Yes.
back down, rather than.
Yes.
Can just before we leave the room, can if Rivera goes at the back, can she open that other door?
Are you trained to be stealthy?
Yes.
Give me a stealth check. Why not?
23.
Nice.
That's good. Okay. Yeah, that's
My
good.
bears are like loudly distracting. They're like at the front, like marching around while I'm like.
Sure. All right. Yeah, the dragon leads the way, and because it's so you didn't touch anything on the hoard, it doesn't seem to be like in need of looking at you all quite closely. So you have enough time to like hang back for a second and peek inside. The room inside is quite dark and clearly unused for a long time. This was the bathing chamber that the wizard used. You can see like things that would be needed for hygiene, and a pretty large pool that is currently just damp but empty. Clearly a water genasi was keeping its own like reservoir of water here. You can see a small little wooden duck sitting on the edge of the pool. That's about it.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know.
Thank God that didn't get noticed by Ashgarlith. But you all leave the chambers. You go through the tidal chamber and then into the corridor that is starting to be submerged underwater. You all gather your air, well, those of you who need to, and you see that the dragon scoops the back of the clothing of Milo, Rating, and Rivera in its claws, and starts like pushing forward, and Jenny and her mount find a way behind, thankfully not needing to breathe, so are not in fear of suffocating. And with the powerful...
How are we keeping the book dry?
Oh,
Are you taking the books?
No, Gaz. Gaz's
Gaz
book.
seems fine. Gaz
Oh,
came down.
yeah,
in the
Gaz.
water.
Yeah, Gaz is fine. He's a magical book who is just floating next to you like a little manta ray. But
He
with
came
the
down in
powerful...
a bubble, dog.
And he wore a princess crown. Yeah. But anyway, you guys are moving much faster back up to the surface with the powerful strokes of a dragon's muscles. And soon enough, in about a couple of minutes, you reach the surface, which is enough, I think, for most of you to not suffocate. And you see that top of the coral spire, where next to that spire the dragon leaves you, gives you one more look, and you can see that Redding, his eye stops on Jenny for a second, and the dragon becomes thoughtful, as if mulling over the opportunities that Jenny has presented to her. And you see the greenish back of the dragon disappear under the water.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
No, it wasn't.
Bye bye.
Oh no, it wasn't. Bob's this way. We think And as we're walking towards the dock, I'm going. So we think that the town got ran out by our dragon friend because she scared everyone off. She didn't kill anyone, just scared them. So there's no one in the town anymore. That Bob should be waiting for us at the port.
Who's Bob?
Oh, he's the mariner. Well, he doesn't actually. He doesn't have a name. Well, he didn't tell me his name. Well, he refused to say much other than and
Old Stormy,
my kind of
welcome
man.
in. We're being raided by some lovely folks. Hello, hello. Welcome to our Candlekeep Christmas edition. We are in the middle of a new adventure, Zirkan Zephyrian Tome. Tell us about your stream. Did you play some D&D? Tell us how the stream went, and welcome in. The gang just finished a fight with a bronze young dragon by basically shimmying it and spiking it over the knee. Thanks, Redding. But yes, you are free to chat as you go to the abandoned village docks.
So anyway, I started calling him Bob because he didn't give me a name, and it felt rude to just keep calling him boatman or mariner, or so he's Bob. He's boat on a boat, and anyway, Bob.
I mean, I thought you were going to make the connection that being on a boat, he bobs up and down, so it's actually quite a fitting name.
Yes, that's
Good,
totally...
good thinking, Rivera.
Thanks.
I suppose it's that walking Milo would have fallen into step with Jenny to find out a bit more about this gnome, not gnome, but gnome type person that she's traveling with. She's like, and she's like, begging your pardon, Miss Jenny, but what sort of gnome are you? Is how that would have started off.
My creator called me an auto-gnome. I have the size and some of the characteristics of a gnome, but I am completely made out of metal and... what was the other thing? Leather straps.
So your creator folk didn't teach you any of the gnomish things like language and such. Did they teach you much of anything else? You do seem to have some useful talents there.
I was originally created to be a helper to my creator because she was very lazy and she wanted me to do everything she didn't want to do. But,
Sounds like a typical parent.
Oh! I wouldn't know. But then I was into the...
You see a book, the genie with a book start floating right next to you, and you feel a touch of one of the leaves from the book as if it pats you on your shoulder and says, I know this feeling well. The masters sometimes can be cruel and lazy. Are you also a genie of some kind then?
I don't know, actually. I was brought up in the College of Creation. It's a bard school, so I learned music and some magic. But I didn't learn that much until after my creator passed away. Then I was brought to Candlekeep to be one of the custodians for a while, and now I am a keeper.
Well, if we ever get some time after this madness, I'll have to take you back home so we can teach you all about all kinds of gnomish things. It's not right that you don't know too much about that. Not right at all.
Oh, I would very much like that, and I can teach you some of what I know as well.
Oh, yes, I was never much one for singing, so maybe I could learn to play one of those drum constructs of yours. That would be nice.
Oh, I do have a drum. Do you want it?
Oh,
I don't use it.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
you don't need a drum. Everything's a drum.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, that's right. Sometimes when I'm curled up in a ball, people try to treat me like a drum, but I don't like it too much. It gives me a bit of a headache, that.
I don't have the ability to feel headaches, luckily. Although it does hurt when I get crushed by things such as giant sperm whales and the claws of a Fropian.
Yes, that would be pleasant.
People have been talking a lot about sperm whales this week. It seems quite strange.
Yeah, I should talk to Yort about that one. He turned the barbarian friend jacked into a whale and it dropped on my head.
Oh, he was trying quite hard he wanted to turn someone into a sperm whale last week, but they wouldn't fit.
Weren't you trying to turn into a sperm whale? When we were inside the mimic?
Yort was going to turn me into a mechanical sperm whale.
Oh.
We really need to have a chat with Yort. He needs some kind of intervention or something, man.
Well, he's been working with me on more forms.
Great, because this obsession
about...
with sperm whales is not healthy.
I was going to try, if the dragon had not been more, mean, that was my thought before it so rudely took Sarah from us. I was going to turn it into a snail.
I didn't want to ask in front of the dragon, but Red, is Sarah really gone?
Well, yeah. He gets out the stone that probably everyone, except maybe Milo, has seen Sarah hatch out of. And I'm going to expend a first level spell slot. And the stone starts to sprout blue scales, and then he sets it down and it will hatch, and Sarah will come out of it and like quickly go through her life cycle until she becomes a medium-sized dragon. Blue this time.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought she was gonna be gone, and I was going to tell you that I would help you bring Sarah back, but you didn't need my help, so.
Look, I mean, and he's gonna like stop walking for a second and kneel down and like scratch her behind the horn. Look, she still died. It's not pleasant, and I would rather she not. But we just have this thing worked out where I can bring her back if I try hard enough. In fact,
I understand that.
What he would have done is he probably would have gotten his short sword that still would have had a bit of electricity, like static, and pressed that to his scar before the egg would have hatched. And when he pulled it away, his scar would have looked completely different, like it was an electrical burn.
Oh, okay. Very nice. All right. As you discuss this, and Sarah starts to go side by side with you, you guys reach the abandoned docks of this village, and you can see Bob right there in the same position he was in when you guys left a few hours ago. And he doesn't even react to the fact that there are new people that were not here last time you got into the boat. And as you all sit down, he just wordlessly turns to Rivera as if asking where to.
Oh, hello, Bob. We did miss you. What's been happening? Okay, well, lots of stuff happened to us. There was a dragon and a dragon. Oh, and some kelpies, but they were lovely. And nothing? Okay, well, we're going to the cloud peaks now, please.
He wordlessly picks up the oars and starts with pretty strong pushes for a guy his age. Get further and further away from the docks, and the boat journey to the south, to the peaks of Cloud Mountains on the horizon begins. This is where we're going to take a short break. Yes?
Rivera is going to spend at least the first 15 to 20, probably the first half hour of the journey, trying to get Bob to tell her about his previous adventures to the Cloud Peaks.
in
Okay.
various different ways.
With the soundtrack of questions unending from Rivera and absolute cold silence from Bob, you guys begin your adventure to the mountains. We're gonna take a short break, 5 to 10 minutes, get ourselves some drinks, visit the bathroom, etc. Chat, also don't forget to hydrate. By the way, if anyone wants to, you can write exclamation point ticket in chat and be entered into a draw for a voucher for Troll Lord Gaming, which is a very good present for yourself for Christmassy season. And yeah, we're gonna be back in about 5 minutes. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Welcome back to Candlekeep Christmas. We are continuing the adventure with the heroes who just shamed the dragon into letting them get the information, and now on the boat towards traveling towards the cloud peaks, where, according to the knowledge they received, Zikran would probably be researching the cloud giants and their magic high in the mountains. The journey itself down to the mountains is not too long and quite comfortable as well, because whenever you guys want to stop for the night, you can camp on the coastline. Bob is keeping the boat pretty close. Bob himself does not sleep or eat or leave the boat, so he obeys your commands easily. On the road...
Is he a fucking construct? What the fuck? Jenny, did you...
Well...
Hey, don't look at me. I don't know. I wasn't here for this. I don't... Ooh.
So... Can we hit the long rest button? Is it safe to assume that we pull over?
Yes, of course.
And, yeah, great.
Yep. You're all back to your full health, back with your spells and everything else you need. And on the rest at a campsite on the coast, when you guys are starting to get ready to go to sleep, Gaz is floating gently towards Reading. And you see he looks at Sarah next to you with a slight little smile and says, "Well, I'm happy that your companion is back. Well, I suppose then you master are powerful already enough to bring her back without my help. I suppose you might have some other things you would consider for a wish from a genie."
I mean, yeah, but why is he? Does he seem to be addressing this to me specifically, or is he addressing it?
It seems he's talking to you specifically, and he did mention before that upon his him being free, he will be able to give one wish as a genie.
You know, this is a lot to just put on a guy all of a sudden. Is there like any rules?
Well, rules largely depend on how powerful a genie is and how good their relationship with their master is. Many of us tend to, see wishes from a different perspective, depending on how well we've been treated. But well, so far all of your companions and you have been nothing but nice to me, and I've been asking everyone what their wish would be, and it seems most of the people in your group of adventurers seem content to give their wish to someone else. So I'm quite curious. I've never seen so many generous masters in one place.
Well, if you're asking, I mean, there is someone that I would like to bring back into my life, but to be honest with you, I reckon, and I feel pretty confident in speaking for all of us, if we can wish to have Candlekeep stop fucking swapping us around it feels like almost every 3 hours, then I reckon that's a pretty dead set wish, eh?
It
Well.
would be nice to get through a bowling tournament without being risky.
Well, I'll see what I can do about that. Candlekeep seems to be a powerful place. While I was there, I couldn't have been opened at all. It seems the magic was there. It's quite oppressing. But you mentioned you want to find someone. Master Rivera had a similar wish. Who do you want to find, if you don't mind me asking?
I do.
Oh, well then. Have a good night.
Hey, ready? If this is at camp, then he's gonna go off and get some plywood or something.
Yep. Gas just awkwardly floats in space for a bit. All right. Well, for the next couple of days, you guys are getting closer and closer to these mountains, and you can see them grow and grow in front of you on the horizon. And by the time you guys are getting to the foot of these mountains, you can feel that even though you're getting south and the climate here is quite warm, from the mountains you can feel gusts of pretty cold air, and looking up at them you see that the peaks are so high they get swallowed by the clouds, and you Rivera would know which mountain you're traveling towards, but it is very clear that as you go up the mountain, the climate will change severely, as well as your conditions and perhaps what you might face on the way. Do you guys have warm clothing? Those of you can feel temperature and get affected by it.
I was teleported here from fucking Candlekeep. As a ranger, probably yes.
I'd say you do. Everyone else? Well, that doesn't seem like
well,
something.
I don't know how warm the cloak of Elven Kind is. That's like my big cloak that I wear all the time. But,
on the journey, if people, because we know where we're going, it's obvious what the climate is going to be. So along the way, when we stop for rests, if people don't have cloaks, then Red will probably help them to make some. We'll probably go out hunting and get some furs. They probably won't be able to cure them, but so the cloaks might be a little sticky. But yeah, Redding knows how to make cloaks. I don't, but he'll be able to help.
Yep, that's
even if it's just
enough.
like sticking furs to shoes and things.
Yeah. That's more than enough. As you guys disembark in your makeshift cloaks and furs, Rivera doesn't seem happy about it. Does Rivera
Look,
say?
you don't need to wear this cloak. You can just freeze to death. That is your choice. That you are welcome and free to make.
Get cold, I might just go into something.
Great. I don't know why I bothered making you this cloak, but you know, that's fine.
It's very nice of you.
Yeah. Yep. It was. Well, let's
Gas floats next to you, Rivera, and says, "I can't help but notice that was a bit aggressive. You okay, Master Rivera?"
Oh, yes, you get used to him.
All right. I do have a wish spell, so if you need like endless flatulence on someone, just let me know.
Oh, that's very funny, but I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
And as all of you disembark, you start looking up the mountain. Rivera, you are but for a second stopped by the hand of Bob, who for the first time in your journey actually shows some sign of interest in anything but rowing. And as he stops you with a hand, he roots around in his clothing and gets out a flask, a metal flask that you have never seen him drink out of, but he wordlessly passes it to you. And when you touch it, it seems quite warm to the touch.
Oh! Tea, Bob. Do I take it with me or do I drink it now?
No response.
Okay, thanks. She's gonna walk away with the flask in her hand, slightly confused.
All right. Yep. So you have a mysterious warm flask with you on this journey. All right. Well,
Can I do an Ardanna check on it?
Sure, you can.
I wouldn't do
Just
that
out of
in front-
interest, what's the flask made of?
Metal,
22.
steel, to be precise. 22. That's not bad. So you definitely feel like the flask itself is not magical, but whatever is inside is, and you feel a sense of continuous warmth from this flask. So when you wish to use it, you will figure out what it does.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you guys start climbing up the mountain, you understand that this will be also quite a journey. And Gaz, who floats next to you, sometimes gives little tidbits of information about the mountain, and he talks about the climate, the possible animals that live in this climate. And on one of these little story times, he floats next to Milo and says, Master Milo, I have noticed that you somewhat like this mountain, only much smaller. I have a wish to grant at some point when I'm free. Would you want to become as big and strong as these mountains?
Mr. Bookser, that's very kind of you to ask.
Please call me Gaz.
Oh, Gaz, if you prefer. Well, I have a think about your wish, Gaz, and I don't think it would be to be as tall as a mountain, because being my size, it's not as grand or as intimidating as some of these quite tall people you see around here. It does help me get around without being noticed, and I find that suits me quite well, thank you. If I could think of a thing to wish on. Oh, but at this point, it seemed to escape me, because I thought I would need a nice warm pair of socks, and then Mr. Redding, as harsh as he could be, managed to help us fashion together a pair of little boots, and she sticks out one foot, and she's basically got like animal furs just wrapped with rope around her foot that's still maybe a little bit sticky with fluids, and she's like, it's not the prettiest, but I find it suits me well. But I appreciate your inquiry, Mr. Gaz. It's kind of you to check in on me.
Well, of course, my duty as a genie is to make sure that my masters have everything they wish for. Although right now my capabilities are so much more limited. Well, let's hope that this mountain keeps my old master, and we can finally get me free out of this damned book.
I'm sure you can do plenty now, but all the same, it is better to be free. It is.
Hey, Gaz and Rivera, you might know as well. What kind of things live up here? What should we expect? Like lots of like cold things. What's the go?
Well, these places used to be a place where giants, cloud giants, would reside. I do not know if they still live here or they have left the place. But other than them, I'm sure other creatures accustomed to a cold climate would be here, such as winter wolves, maybe a Yeti or two, maybe even a Remoraz if we are quite unlucky.
Rivera, anything to add?
Nature check to see if I have anything to add.
Yes, go ahead.
Well,
I do not
I
have
was just,
anything to add.
I was just a little bit curious, Mr. Genie. Why are you so eager to dole out wishes?
Well, doling out might be a bit generous. I have used up a lot of my power serving Zekran before, and I know that when I get my body back, I will be finally free, and will have enough power in me, at least in the beginning, for only but one wish. But, you know, us genies are different. Some despise the fact that people ask them for wishes. Some take it as a professional pride. I found myself to have quite a good reputation as a genie before, but you know, that kind of requires give and take from the master and the genie, and that was not good with the last one.
Oh, I do apologize about that. And also, I'm not very well read, so I don't really know more than fairy tales about genies. But it feels like you're very eager to, like you're walking around asking what we would wish for, even before you have your powers back. That feels a little odd, to be honest. Like,
Well,
the reward comes after the job done.
of course. But I would need you, my dear masters, to mull it over. And, well, for us genies, what people wish for tells us a lot about their character. Only some people try to trick the genies into giving them wishes. And usually what that leads to is something they perhaps wanted, but clearly don't know how to deal with. For me, what people wish for is a sign of what kind of person they are, and, well, not to brag, but I have fulfilled some quite interesting and magnificent wishes in the past.
Jody, don't look a gift character building moment in the mouth. I
don't understand what that means.
It's right, it's meta. Through the journey, Sarah would have disappeared at some point. So I don't know when in the journey this conversation would have happened, but after this, when they kind of get to the foot of the mountain that they are planning to summit, Sarah would be out and would be white again.
All right.
And the scar would have changed appropriately as well.
Mm-hmm. And as you talk to him, Jenny, Gaz turns to you and says, "It is quite nice of you, though, to be aware and perhaps, look into the deeper reasons of people around you. I remember before you teleported in, Master Garnot was also similar keen mind as you, Master Jenny. I was quite attached to the wisdom the master had. But what of you, Master Jenny? Do you have anything you wish for?"
Right now, not really. Well, I think the only thing I could wish for would be kind of nasty. Because I wish I had more time with my creator, but she died 3 years ago, and bringing her back now would be bad.
Oh, well, I might not desire to bring back a corpse, but I think something like that could be done.
No, it's fine.
No, you misunderstand. There is magic of dreams that I possess quite a bit. I used dreams to give my knowledge to Zikran when he wanted it sometimes. And, well, I might not be able to move mountains with my magic now, but I can surely make people dream of it.
Unfortunately, I don't sleep. I just sit there.
We'll figure it out then.
Well, that would be very nice.
You can see Gaz start flipping his own pages as if thinking of something. But as you guys move up the mountain, the first leg of your journey is pretty nice and even comfortable. The air is chilly, but the winter air and sun keep you guys quite energized. And all you see is a couple of Arctic foxes dart through the snowy bushes sometimes, and the climb itself is not too hard. But soon enough, you reach the second leg of the journey, where things start to get a bit more difficult. And this is where we will need a skill-based challenge to see how well you fare. The second part of the journey includes extreme cold and high elevation, and the snow here moves quite rapidly around you. You can even sometimes hear, especially you, Redding, being a ranger, and Rivera being a druid, you can hear sometimes howls of winter wolves in the distance. You know that you are in the territory of one of such packs, which could be a problem at some point. But 3 successes is what you need to pass through this part of the climb without issue. So tell me what skills you would like to use to help the party.
It's gotten real cold.
True.
Right. So Rivera is going to take some tentative sips of the potion, the flask that Bob gave her.
As you start sipping, as you open it, first of all, you feel a strong smell of sun scorched grass and berries. And you know that this is not an alcoholic drink, but it has like powerful sense of summer and warmth to it. And as you start sipping, you feel like you do not need the winter clothing or any help to fight off the extreme cold as you traverse the mountain. But how would you help the party in this?
So helping the party, I'm going to use her knowledge of the natural world to find like the easier paths to go down, or like to avoid snowdrifts and stuff like that. So
All right.
her awareness of nature.
That would be either nature or survival, depending on what you want.
Nature, please.
All right.
With a +8, 11.
Yeah, that's 11. That's unfortunately not enough for a success. All right. What about everyone else?
I guess Milo is a nature girly, but she is kind of relative. She is from a cold environment, so she is kind of used to it, but her main thing, I guess, if we're hearing wolves or being told about wolves, is stealth, to bypass them without being seen.
So, that's good.
So that would be a dexterity check.
You can do a stealth check.
Stealth check?
Yes. You can try and make sure that you guys are as unseen or unheard.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was reading the thing. So I have stealth. My stealth is +11. Sorry, that's what I was reading.
Nice.
Let's see what it is. That's 24.
Nice. Yeah, 24 is more than enough. You help your group go just a bit more quietly and choose areas where you are under the shade of trees and have a bit more between you and possible dangers around you. That is definitely a success. Very good. Jenny, Redding, what about you guys?
On a similar note, Redding is used to going through the wilderness and all kinds of climates. So he would be watching out for potential snowdrifts, parts where ice might collapse under them, as well as keeping an ear out for wolves as well. So I would like to use perception if possible.
All right, give it a go.
That is a 13.
It is a 13. Unfortunately, not enough. Just 1 point off. What about you, Jenny?
Hold on. I think I think Jenny would want to You said there were trees around?
Yes, there are some trees in this area of the mountain, although further up there won't be pretty soon.
Okay. So, as far as it's possible, Jenny, I would like to climb the trees and then scout ahead by moving from one tree to the other. Because she is very good at acrobatics. So, getting a high ground and scouting ahead.
All right. What check would you want it to be? Acrobatics?
If you think that work.
I'd say so.
Yep. So let's see. I do have advantage on that one. No, that's to be escape. So that's a regular roll. Oh, that's a nat 20 for 30.
That's enough. And natural 20 will count as 2 successes. So that's very good.
Awesome.
So you guys together definitely succeed in avoiding the pack of winter wolves and find your way up the mountain pretty easily. However, the further up you go, the colder and more windy it becomes, to the point where it doesn't seem natural, and you start passing not only wind and snow, but also clouds. Things about this place seem very hidden and magical, to the point where you feel the presence of magic of cloud giants, whether they themselves are here or not. And I would like all of you to give me a perception check.
Perception. No. Oof, I'm gonna use Built for Success to add to that.
Okay.
So,
nice.
Where did it go? It's a Built for Success is an autonome thing. So let me see. D4.
22.
I got
So
22 as well.
16.
17.
All right. So, Redding and Milo, you being the sneaky ones, very quickly notice something. When you traverse up this mountain, and pretty soon you'll be starting to not only walk but also climb, you see bits of rock and snow out of place. You see a bunch of crushed into dust bits of rock that someone either punched out or fell into, something like that. You feel like something big and something angry is traversing the same area as you guys.
How many legs? Can I tell that?
I'd say give me a survival check. I can give you more than that depending on your roll.
Sure. 18.
18. You feel like this creature walks on 2 legs. It's big. More than that, it's huge. The creature is pretty big and menacing, although the footsteps and the signs of walking are not as deep as you would think, almost as if the creature's feet are accustomed to not leave that many traces on snow. You, I think, would know enough as a ranger to assume that is probably a Yeti.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was going to ask about the shape of the footprint. Yeah. Careful, there's Yetis around.
Oh.
Do I know anything about Yetis? Like their hunting tactics or anything?
So you would know that Yetis are solitary creatures, usually living alone. They hunt whatever they can find. The wolves, the foxes, the bears, whatever is in reach. A Yeti usually lives alone on a mountain. They have pretty vast territories to support them, and they are pretty smart. I'd say they are as smart as Jenny in your eyes.
So not very. Um,
Well,
do they use
they're capable of their own
tools,
speech.
or do they like
Um,
fight, or do they have ice powers, or is that?
I don't think you would know that much. You know they are keen hunters and pretty smart and fearsome, but that's about it.
There's probably only one Yeti that we're dealing with, but keep an eye out. They're pretty crafty. They can certainly set ambushes and maybe even traps, depending on how dexterous it is. And with that realization, I will probably be keeping an active eye out for traps and signs of ambush and stuff.
All right, that's fair. Then question, are you guys traveling further stealthily or not?
I
would suggest it.
Happy to.
I think that's pretty much Milo's default state to be like.
Yep, makes sense.
Fly under the radar.
Jenny, do you feel like your mount needs to roll stealth as well in that case?
Let me check. Yeah.
Alrighty. Then, Redding, Sarah, Jenny, everyone, give me a nice little stealth check. Okay. Ooh, Milo with a nice 26. Really bumps the group stealth high up there. Very nice.
13 for the mount and...
Okay.
I am going to use another build for success for that one, because that was sad. You see Jenny, her dainty high-heeled shoes just click, 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 turn into snowshoes instead, so it doesn't crunch as much on the ground.
Very nice. So what's your total?
My total will... Oh, come on, 11.
Oof. Okay. So we have 11, 3, 13 for the mount.
Yep.
And then we have Milo, Redding. Yes?
I'm going to ask a cheeky word question. So my stealth was 19. Sarah's was the 3, which equals an 8 with her proficiency bonus. But as a white dragon, is there any chance she can get advantage or no?
I'd say yes.
Right. So I'm looking to beat a 3. I do, with a 19.
Nice. That actually changes the scale a little bit, because 3 of you passed, 3 of you failed. So I guess that means an active check from the Yeti, because it's kind of like a draw right now. So.
Wait, there's a Yeti? I thought this was just hypothetical Yetis.
Anyway, Brandon, as your ranger, can you give me a perception check?
Okay.
You said you'd be looking out for things, so...
Natural 1. 11.
Natural 1. Okay, so the good news is a Yeti rolled a pretty shit perception, so that's good. A powerful 4. So your 3 successes, 3 failures tend to be more successes in this situation. And Redding, you start first not seeing but hearing something in the distance. You hear dull sounds of snow hitting snow. And as you guys are drawing closer and going around some cold and snowed rocks of this mountain, what you guys see is a huge monstrosity covered in white fur with crystalline blue horns adorning its head, almost like ice in the shape of horns. You see a Yeti, but what it is doing right now is very strange. It is angrily throwing snowballs at a big figure it constructed out of snow that looks like a humanoid, pretty stocky and big, with bits of rock sticking out as ears and a little bit of ice crushed to give its face a bluish hue. and the Yeti is throwing the snowballs, angrily roaring sometimes and grumbling something under its breath.
Roughly how big is the snowman?
The snowman is about the size of a human.
Do we think that our Yeti friend doesn't like Zircon very much?
He probably doesn't like anyone too much.
Yes, but that seems quite specific. Gaz, it does look a little bit like Zircon, doesn't it?
Gaz nods and says, yes, and it seems that, well, it hasn't seen us yet. You, Master Rivera, seem pretty good at communicating with beasts and monsters. Do you think you want to take a chance and talk to this creature?
I certainly could. It might result in us all getting snowballs thrown at us, but we could try.
I know you can do it, Rivera. I know it.
Oh, you
and yeah, you get an inspiration point.
Nice.
I'm gonna look over Milo and her equipment. Does Milo have any ranged weapons on her?
Yes, she has. Pretty sure she has a short. Yes, she does. Short bow.
Right.
And
then, yep.
What is it? Short bow and what's the other one?
And daggers can be thrown in a pinch as well. Yeah. Cool. In that case, Red will whisper and say, Milo, you and I might be better off staying here out of sight in case things go south, eh? And I'll get my longbow ready.
Okay, and Milo will be like, oh, yes, quite right. And she will pop up the hood of her cloak and also take out her short bow and notch an arrow and says, we do seem to be coming across quite a few creatures throwing tantrums right about with this. It would be nice to run into someone who's a bit more calm, I think.
Well, it does seem that this second fellow inspires tantrums in people.
Jenny, Milo, you just gave me thought. Jenny, do you have any way of making people calm? Rivera, you too?
Let me see if I can remember something. Do I?
That's smart. If only someone who had calm emotion.
You know what we really need is to send a message to this Yeti.
You joke, but Damien fucking has both sending and message, you piece of shit.
I have message.
No, that was just a joke, purposely made to get at Daria.
Yeah, Brendan is just exploring the bullying possibilities when I'm DM and cannot be a stinker.
I also have detect thoughts.
Ooh.
That's powerful.
So
just spitballing some ideas, Jenny. You do your thing.
Oh, I could try to see what it's thinking of. I mean, it does seem angry, but I could try.
I could have a wild guess. That guy, don't like him. He should die. That would be my guess.
I mean, that raises a good
yeah.
point. What are we, if we're looking for this guy, what are we going to do to him?
Well, I believe Gaz has implied that. Well, we would like him to release Gaz, but if he doesn't do so by choice, well, if something happened to Zircon, then Gaz would be released. So I guess it kind of depends on how Zircon responds to us. So I
mean, it would be quite a shame if Zircon says no to releasing Gaz.
It would be a shame if this Yeti stopped us from killing this Zircon.
Well, I don't think he'll stop us from killing as long as, well, Zircon, as long as he doesn't just see us as a way of getting his anger out.
It's a good thing we've got you to go in and have a chat.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to that.
I could try something real quick if you're okay with it. I have the ability to send a message into the heads of other creatures. So I could try to pretend to be the wind talking to the Yeti.
What language can the wind be in?
Common, deep speech, or primordial.
That's definitely what the wind was. That's definitely a language of the wind.
I mean,
Look, I've given
primordial.
my input. I've got my bow ready. This is all up to you, Jenny. You do what you follow your heart.
How about this? How about I go and talk to him, and then if shit hits the fan, as it were, maybe you could come in with a instruction from the deep and try and get me out of it.
Oh, yeah, that could work.
Yes.
All right. So Jenny, you're hanging back with Milo and Redding that situation, yeah?
Mhm. Yep.
All right.
Okay,
So,
so I'm going to
Rivera?
walk out to a Yeti on my own.
Yes, you see this
isn't going to
huge
end badly
angered
at all.
creature. Yeah, it is huge, it is angry, and you are striding towards it alone. Nothing bad ever happened to Rivera. Let's see how
can I
that
ask
goes.
just quickly, what distance are the rest of us at from this Yeti?
You are about 40 feet away. You see it in a
Right.
clearing
Okay.
on the side of a mountain.
Cool.
So as Rivera approaches, she's going
Yeah.
to stay where she's like back enough that she's not like up in this Yeti's grill or anything. She's going to have her hands up and she's going to say, "Excuse me, sir. I couldn't help but notice that, well, the sculpture, the one that you're throwing snowballs at, looks like someone that we're out to find, and he looks like he's done bad things to you, and I was hoping you might be able to tell us where he is so we could actually throw things at him."
As soon as you start talking, you see Yeti get startled and look back at you.
Oh, sorry.
And give me just a plain charisma. Just a plain, nice little charisma.
Put on the Riz.
Yeah, put that Riz on. We believe. Riz up the Yeti. 16, that's not bad. Okay, so it looks startled, but it doesn't seem inclined to like blindly attack. And because you don't seem like you're menacing at all, and your tone is quite light, the creature turns its huge head to look at you a little bit and clearly does not understand the words you're saying, but tries to communicate, and you hear bits of roaring and grumbling in a language that is probably a Yeti type of communication.
Would
Yep.
would they count as a beast?
It is a monstrosity, not a beast. Beasts are animals. Yeti are something much more.
And they're not talking. He's not speaking Sylvan by any chance.
No, not Sylvan. He is speaking Yeti.
Okay. So, Rivera switches to interpretive dance.
Uh-huh.
So she's like, points at the
Uh-huh. Okay. You can see that Yeti seems inclined to at least try to communicate with you, and the Yeti points at the snow sculpture and punches it in the face and looks at you. Then he starts moving around looking for something. What equipment do you have on you, Rivera?
I've got a backpack. I've got a
You have a staff or like
staff.
a
I've got
sword?
a staff on my back.
Staff. You can see Yeti very, very quickly advance forward towards you and reach out one huge hand, and for a second you feel like it's gonna close around your skull, but he grabs your staff out of your holder in the back and starts drawing something on the snow. And he starts drawing little pictures. First is a smiling, happy Yeti in something that looks like a big box. Next picture
This Yeti is speaking emoji.
pretty much. Next picture is Yeti being zapped by lightning. And up close, as he draws, you can see bits of his winter white fur are actually quite singed. And you can see next to the box standing a strange-looking creature that is furiously screaming something at the Yeti. Next picture is Yeti running away from the box. And the last picture is Yeti sitting on snow with little drops of tears in his eyes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was very mean. I don't think Rivera's gonna be like try and give the Yeti a hug.
Yeah, so the Yeti is huge. You are medium. I think you can comfortably hug one of its knees. You see the creature kind of turn its head a little bit and wait out the hug.
Is the creature still? I know you said they were singed, but
Yes.
are they clearly actually still injured?
It doesn't seem like he's injured. He either has healed from the wounds, or it was more fright than wounds.
Okay.
It's unclear.
Where is the box?
He looks at you for a second and then starts pointing with your stuff up the mountain and starts walking there.
Okay, I'm going to go up there and.
He gets up a little bit, starts climbing, and looks at you waiting.
Oh, you're coming too? Oh, lovely. Well, and I'm gonna draw on the floor, and I draw me with a smiley face, and then I draw 3 more smiley face, and like all together in a heart.
Don't forget Sarah.
Oh, and a little dragon, and a book.
and the squirrel.
And the squirrel.
Oh yes,
There's a lot.
like for ages. She's just drawing for ages.
Yeah. All right. Can you give me either persuasion or performance? Up to you, with advantage. We need a Yeti mode, says Hogan.
Yes. Yes, we do, Daria. Yes, we do.
Listen, I'm always down.
21.
21. That's pretty good. You see, as you start drawing more and more creatures, the Yeti's face starts looking concerned and nervous. You know that these creatures are not used to seeing a lot of humanoids around them, but he waits. He waits at the start of the climb, warily, hoping that nothing bad will happen.
All right. We're going to go together. Everyone, put away any weapons you have and come out slowly, because we're friends right now, everyone.
Oh, I've never been friends with the Yeti.
This is Yeti.
Hello.
This is everyone.
And Milo, because she has a habit of like collecting snow as she travels and turning into a giant snowball. It's a thing. She just sort of pops out next to Rivera's ankle and is like looking at the pictures, and she's like, "Oh, you're talented at drawing. You didn't tell me that you did a bit of art, Rivera."
Oh, thank you.
Lovely.
Okay, we're in a bit of a rush, and Redding is gonna continue pushing the snowball that is Milo.
Like,
All right.
Yeti friend, Rivera, Ed, Milo, and Jenny, and that's Gaz, and Sarah. Who are you?
You see that the brain does not compute. That there was a lot of information that Yeti was like,
Ravira?
rah, rah, rah.
Okay, let's go. Get that one.
No, that's his
Alright.
name. Rah, 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 rah.
Oh, I thought he was just trying to say mine.
Well, you can't just make assumptions like that, Rivera.
Oh, okay. Well, nice to meet you, Ravira.
The creature turns back, sometimes warily looking at the tiny snowball that has a mind of its own, which is
it's trundling along.
yeah, it's like. But anyway, it starts climbing up, and you can see now that Yeti doesn't go straight up. He sometimes changes direction as if finding a specific path that it's traveling. It's pretty nice for you that you are accompanied by someone who knows the ways here, so that your difficulty for this climb will be a bit lowered. So I would like you all to give me an athletics check, please.
I have a hempen rope. Can I tie that from Sarah to Milo? In fact, actually, I mean, mechanically, Milo probably doesn't need the help, but Milo's little, so I'm going to give Milo the help.
Nice.
I was thinking at some point, just because of how small she is, I'm like, at some point there's going to be a couple of, oh, excuse me, as the people get very far ahead, they turn around and just see a ball slowly rolling behind them, being like,
Yeah.
Up a cliff.
Up a cliff, it's quite difficult.
So yeah, the help from Sarah is much appreciated.
The
does Sarah
squirrel
need a
has a
roll?
climbing speed.
Oh, nice. Well, Sarah can Sarah fly?
Yes, she can.
Then she doesn't need to climb. She can hold a rope around her to connect into Milo.
Okay.
All right, lovely. So Redding, you succeed. Next we have Revere with a 7 does not succeed. What else do we have?
I want to clarify. I got my staff back, right?
Yes, sure. He gives you back the
you.
stuff. He's not trying to keep it. He used it as a drawing utensil.
I know. I just want.
So I only see 2 athletics checks. What's Milo's situation?
I have a rope tied to my waist and being hoisted up.
You letting that do the work. Sure.
I can do an athletics check to see how comfortable I am, I guess, is whether I'm...
Yeah, go for it.
It's a 19.
That's not
Wow.
bad. You are actually quite competently jumping from one ledge to another, which is pretty impressive. Jenny?
Well, Jenny would hop up on the squirrel. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, because the squirrel has a climbing speed. Do I roll with advantage, or how do I?
I don't think you should roll at all, because it has a climbing speed. It is not an issue for it to start climbing, and
Yep.
it is your mount. So I think
Yep.
you're set. So far we only have Rivera, who failed this one. Rivera, you get a point of exhaustion. I will remind you what it does. 1 point of exhaustion is disadvantage on ability checks until your next
Would
long
I
rest.
be able to, before I get the point of exhaustion, failing at the climbing, could I just wild shape before that happens, or I still get the comfort?
It's not that you're failing at the climbing, it's how tired you get, because the Yeti is leading you guys through a pretty safe route. Before the check, you could have told me, but right now
No,
it's a
that's
little tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you go higher and higher up, it gets very difficult to even keep an eye on the Yeti, because he starts disappearing in the clouds that are coming very close to the edges of the mountains, and it's getting very, very cold. Everyone except Rivera, because Rivera has a warming potion, please give me a Constitution saving throw as well.
Sarah, being a white dragon, gives me resistance to cold damage. Would that
Ooh.
pass on to this?
Yes, I'd say you have an advantage on this.
Okay. On con, you said?
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Constitution saving throw. Ooh, Jenny, that's looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
13.
That's not enough, unfortunately.
Okay, I
Is
do have
16 enough?
I do have inspiration that I could burn. So I was thinking,
You can.
Oof. Okay.
it's worse. Okay, 13 it is. 13 it
That
is.
sucks.
Squirrel gets an 8.
Okay, so anyone who has lower than a 15, you have also a point of exhaustion. So I think so far, it's Rivera has 1, Jenny has 1, Milo has 1, and the squirrel. Yep. All right. So yeah, you feel the chilling go deep to your bones. The cold here is unforgiving. But you begin to see something pierce through the clouds above, and pretty soon the Yeti stops climbing and is standing on the ledge, looking down at you guys. And as one by one you get on the ledge, you see a fortress. A cloud giant fortress on the top of this mountain. You see that the mountain here is kind of splitting in half, and in this cleft of the rock there is the beginnings of this fortress that kind of itself looks like a stone cloud. The shape is kind of rolling and a bit more oblong rather than what you would see in a human castle or fortress. You can see, however, that this keep is quite damaged. Most of the walls and the floors above the first one are pretty much gone. The rock here has fallen over, and the place looks abandoned. But from that ledge you're on right now, you see huge steps of a staircase that leads to the main entrance that leads into the courtyard of this place. And the Yeti starts nervously pacing around the entrance and looking into the courtyard.
The box in there.
The Yeti starts to nod and meaningfully looks at you guys. It doesn't seem like he wishes to go forward. He's quite nervous.
That's fair enough. It's very unkind. You wait. We'll go.
All right. So what do you do?
I would like to. There's a couple of things.
Yes.
As the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything additions to ranges give this feat, which I only just noticed, called Tireless. So that gives me 1d8 plus 2 temporary hit points. So I'd like to pop myself up.
Okay.
And use that. And I would also like to.
Is that once a day type of feature, or what is it?
It's 3 times a day. As an action.
That's just like. It's an action. Okay, that's just a free addition to the ranger.
Yeah, because they were crap.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I would also like to untie Milo and Sarah from each other, and ask Sarah to do a bit of a flyby.
All right. So can you see through Sarah's eyes, or what's happening?
No, but she can come back and talk to me.
She can talk to you. Okay.
Yeah, she speaks Draconic, and I can speak Draconic.
All right. She's white, so that's pretty good. She will be probably safe from any prying eyes, unless someone is really like standing guard. Do you want her to fly over the courtyard, or
Yeah. Like relatively high up, like a 100 or so feet up, and do a flyby over the courtyard, as well as past any windows or anything similar that she sees.
All right. Can you give me a perception check from Sarah?
Okay. That's a 5 on the dice. So we'll just see if there's any bonuses added. Her passive perception is 12. So, but it's a +2, so add 2 to whatever I rolled, so 7.
All right. So Sarah does a couple of circles above the courtyard, peeks into some of the damaged walls of the first and second floors, and comes back to you. And she relays that she hasn't really seen any creatures. So she assumes that the coast is clear. However, she has heard some sounds from within the fortress, but she couldn't see. Maybe it is below.
I will share that with everyone who doesn't speak Draconic.
She says the courtyard is pretty empty. There are no people, but there is something that looks like an igloo.
Something that looks like an igloo, right?
That might be the box that Master Yeti was drawing in all of his lovely pictures down below.
I thought this was the box, but you could be right.
Maybe.
What do the rest of you think? Should we try to get in, or?
It's just whether I don't think we need to knock, but shall we just break the door down?
You seem like you'd like that.
I think it would be fun.
Gaz pipes up for a second and says, my dear masters, I think, well, Zikran was quite a mean wizard, but he was also quite proficient. We have to be careful around these parts. I remember he was quite creative in his means of punishment, sometimes even making strange, hurtful rhymes. Gaz passes gas. Gaz has no class. That was pretty crass, but damn it, I rhymed again. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is he's quite a mean and powerful wizard. So as soon as we go in, I wish all of you luck.
Right. So just because.
I do have a thing where I can find people like thinking creatures' thoughts, but it depends on how thick the walls of this place is. Like how thick they are.
The
holes in the walls. So
cloud giants built pretty sturdy fortresses, but depending, I suppose, on which floor he's on.
So, yeah, the thing I have where I can detect creatures, if it's like more than 2 feet of rock, I can't sense anything. But if it's like thinner than that, that's not a problem.
Okay. Do you wish to cast it now, Jenny?
Yes. So, detect thoughts has a thing where she can detect the thoughts of creatures within 30 feet of her.
30 feet. The courtyard itself is a bit more than that, so.
Yeah, she is mostly interested in like if she can cast down or into a building that we can't see.
Can you hold the spell for a long time, or what's the situation? Because you can cast it and continue getting closer to the fortress and perhaps feel something.
It's a concentration for 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. You can cast it right now and you'll be able to at least detect any thinking creatures in the courtyard and the first room of whatever is inside, but that would be about it.
So I can recast it within a minute. So if we get closer within that minute. But I can't use it. If I cast it like that, I can't penetrate deeper into. I have to.
That's no problem. All right. So I suppose you casting detect thoughts, and you guys go into the courtyard. All right.
What I will say is, just because there ain't no creatures in the courtyard doesn't mean there's no traps. Or spells or shit. Like, Gaz said, this guy seems to be pretty clever, so let's watch out for that.
All right. So does that mean, Redding, you are investigating up front?
Absolutely not. I mean, I don't mind being in front, but it would be only looking for... And in fact, he will say, look, I can look for, like, mechanisms and ropes and stuff, but I really don't do that magic crap. So if someone else can cover that one, that'd be swish.
I mean, I can do an Arcana check, but I don't have anything to actively see.
If you're looking for magical traps, that still would be investigation, because you're not analyzing trap, you're just trying to see if there is any disturbance in the sand, anything as such.
Okay.
Yeah. I also am on disadvantage. So
That
maybe
is
someone
true.
should do it.
Yeah.
All
right.
of us are on disadvantage.
Yeah. So let me know what is our plan. What are we doing? Do we do any stealth? Do we do any specific checks? What's our thing?
I feel like stealth is a given, and I would try to do an investigation to see if I notice any traps. Does that sound good?
That sounds pretty good. Everyone who has exhaustion points, however, remember that your stealth is at a disadvantage.
Do you want stealth before the investigation?
Yes, please.
I will leave Sarah back a bit where we are to follow from a distance.
All right. That's a good stealth rating, 25. Ooh, your rolls today, guys. That's a natural 20 yet again. Oof.
Nice.
That's a nat
And
one
another
on
natural
stealth.
one. Okay. Yeah, we have 2 nat ones.
I got 10.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Jenny's
well,
a frozen metal construct. She's like, "Eh."
I guess
Yeah.
Marla's more tired than she thought, so
Yeah, it is quite cold here, and Redding, you can hear the clattering of the teeth of your fellows behind you as you walk. And investigation 12. Okay, so you start to. Yes, I didn't say anything about penetration. Aren't I a professional DM, Brendan? But as you guys
If it helps, I've got a passive perception of 20.
Okay, well, I don't think it overrides a specific check if it is intentional, but you'll definitely see some things. First of all,
Sure.
when you guys go into the courtyard, you can see that this, especially you, Redding, being a ranger, can see clearly that this place is indeed a lair of a Yeti. Or at least it was. You can see that the igloo-esque structure in the corner of this courtyard is the place where it probably sleeps. You can see strewn about some bones and bits of fur that it probably brought with its dinner a few times. Even some bits of hunting equipment that was perhaps stolen or was on one of the victims. It is unclear. But the place here was clearly lived in by a Yeti. And you can see a huge gate with 2 wooden doors at the other side of the place. The doors are indeed feet for giants. They are huge, and the square shape of the courtyard here that is walled from every side is also pretty high up, which is a good sign of why Yeti really likes this place. It seems very protected. If he's under, an assumption that he's here alone. And as you traverse deeper, closer to the doors, you can see that there are steps towards the raised platform where the door is, and there is something that sparks under your feet. And Ravira, you recognize this. This is yet another rune of lightning that unfortunately Redding didn't notice in time. And I would like all of you, except Sarah, who's hanging back, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, it's a saving throw, so I don't need to do it at a disadvantage, correct?
That is true. That is true, yes. Yeah.
18.
18, that's good.
27.
25.
That's good. Okay. Milo?
Milo,
It was-
Do we need one? Yeah?
It was a 13, unfortunately.
A 13. Okay. Do we need one for your mount, Jenny?
Yes.
Okie doke.
Let me check. Ooh. So D20. 16.
16. Okay, that is unfortunately not enough. You're off by 1 point. But everyone who has 17 or higher, you succeed and take half damage. Everyone else gets unfortunately full damage, and I'll tell you how much that is. Okay, that's 15 plus 9. That's 24 plus 37 lightning damage, halved if you succeeded.
Yeah, the mount is just goes and then
Oh, wait.
falls over.
Wait.
Yes.
I realized one of my traits is evasion, so I may be able to take half damage when you are subject
you can.
to an effect. Okay, cool. Half damage. What was half damage again?
37 halved, so
Okay.
that's 18.
18? We're going with 18?
Yes.
Oh, do you
Yes.
want me to round up or down?
Usually we round down, right? That's
Yeah,
18.
that's what I did.
Yeah. Alrighty.
By the
So-
way, the temporary hit points that I gave myself before, I gave myself 3. So it didn't help
Okay.
that much.
Well, it got a little bit off. But yeah, you, Rivera, see this a second time and know that this is indeed a paranoid wizard, and there could be more traps inside. But as you cross the threshold and get zapped, you get to the door. And you can see that is apparently what the Yeti was waiting for. So he is now strolling in, carefully looking at the snow. So knowing that he won't be zapped again, he starts looking around and sniffing his lair and trying to get acquainted with his habitat.
That ruin it's a one-off. So I don't need to just.
Yes, it is no longer active. Yeah.
Was it loud?
Just as there was a zap of electricity. If someone is behind stone walls, they probably wouldn't hear it.
Oh, well, you got your back. Good job. We're going
The
there.
creature waves its huge hand and gets into the igloo, and you can start hearing him pushing things around and making sure everything is where it's supposed to be.
Well,
You
we
are
need-
at the huge doors, though.
we need to take care of this Ran, so that he doesn't keep bothering Rawara.
I want him
Yeah.
gone because he just destroyed timber.
Red will put a hand on Jenny's shoulder in understanding and consolation, and then shake himself up and use Tylus again to give himself 6 temporary hit points.
Gaz looks to you, Jenny, and says, "Well, once I'm free, I'm quite sure that I'm capable of turning your squirrel back to being alive."
Well, that would be helpful. She's a prototype, but yeah, I kind of grew fond of her. So
Gaz looks at the huge doors in front of him and says, "Can't help but notice, though, this requires arms, and pretty strong ones."
I don't have those.
Red
was-
looks around and starts hoping for some green flashing lights right about now.
Well, you can hope, but the door is right in front of you.
Yeah. And then, failing that, he will bring out the egg again and use a spell slot to change Sarah into a blue dragon.
All right.
I'm not going to get fucking
what-
zapped again.
He seems
Jenny's
so-
gonna recast Detect Thought to see if we are getting ambushed.
So far, the only creature you're detecting is the Yeti. He feels content.
No.
Yep.
So, what are we doing with the door?
So the door is quite bulky. Is that the?
Giant
Yeah,
size?
the doors are fit for giants, yes. It doesn't seem like it's locked, but it's quite heavy.
Oh.
Look, anyone want to give me a hand? I can give it a shot, but I might need some help.
I mean, I can try and well, I guess we could Rivera is going to cast Conjure Animals, and this time it will come out as snowflakes, and one polar bear is going to appear.
Nice. Okay.
I didn't want the brown bears to be cold. Hello, friend. Could you help us open the door, please? And then
The bear-
I'll push, but the bear will help as well.
Yeah, the bear starts helping you, Redding, or depending on the bear's score, the bear might be taking the lead. What's the strength on the bear? Do you know, Rapira?
It's got a strength of 20, so it's +5.
That's pretty good. Do you wish to give the bear a help action, Redding?
I will actually ask Sarah to help. Her strength is a plus when mine is a nothing. So she will help the bear.
Makes sense. All right.
So
yes,
these doors, would they be classified as large or smaller?
they are definitely larger and I think no, the giants are huge, so these would be huge as well.
Dang it. Oh well.
Yep.
Am I doing just a straight roll or advantage because of the
You're
help?
doing advantage roll with the +5 for your bear.
How do I do that on a... I'm just going to roll 2d20. Oh,
Yeah, that's
right.
fine.
Okay, there we go. Jeez, not very good. 16.
Oh, that's a 6. Oh yeah, because that's
There's
not
an 11
together.
and an 8. I couldn't
16.
work out.
That's fine. That's enough because these are not closed. Like they're not locked. They just need a pretty hefty push, and 15 or higher would be enough. The bear and Sarah work together, and with a screech, the door starts to move, and you start seeing inside this corridor. Now you see that this place has long been abandoned. The huge hole in front of you, definitely built for giants rather than humans, is pretty barren. You can see from the destroyed parts of the castle of the fort, there is quite a bit of snow inside, and the wind goes through the corridor pretty strongly. You feel the chill right even inside, and you see that between these bits of rubble, there is quite a bit of movement. You see tiny ice mephits floating about in tiny little groups. They don't seem to be attacking you, at least currently, but you can see that there's a lot of small little ice spirits just fluttering about and currently apparently doing something of their own. And in the end of this long corridor, you see, first of all, the place is definitely pretty large, and there's going to be a fork in the corridors beyond. But what you see in the entrance hall here, at the end of the corridor, you see two huge chairs, atop of which sit two cloud giants. However, the cloud giants are see-through and ghostly. They are sitting next to a small table and clearly playing some sort of game. One of them raises a stone cup, and shakes something inside, and you can hear something shake inside, and then he pushes it on the table, and you can feel vibrations go through the corridor to where you are. These ghosts, apparently from the long dead cloud giants that lived here, still continue their daily routine. So far, they haven't noticed you, but the place is definitely not abandoned. And this is where we're gonna stop. You can see that most of you, one by one, start to dissipate. Is there anything that you guys want to do before you go? Yes, Rivera.
As the green starts coming, I'm gonna grab. I've still got the backpack on my back, and I'm gonna like look around and try and work out if I can work out if anyone's not going to throw it at them.
I think Redding is not covered in sparks.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna throw the backpack at Redding. Do I have time to do one more thing?
Yes.
A bonus action?
Yes, of course. Go on.
So, and then I'm also going to bonus action. My bear appears next to me, the spirit, and Redding gets 13 temp HP.
Nice.
I don't know if I can leave the spirit here because, like, technically,
I don't think you can. But
okay, but you get to keep that HP.
Yes.
And then all my bears and I
start disappearing. As you start disappearing, Rivera, you do see Gaz look surprised and quite saddened at you, and says, "Goodbye, Master Rivera." And his sad face is the last thing you see.
Before Rivera and the rest go, can I kind of try to usher them back out the door in consideration for the next group of people who will teleport in with these ghosts? Great.
Yeah, the ghosts definitely don't seem to be taking interest in you so far, but you can do that if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Jenny.
Jenny's gonna make a break for it and run back to the squirrel. And it's like, no, I paid too much for you.
Yeah. You hold your squirrel close, and the sparks start to fly around both of you, and you also disappear. Milo.
Milo noticed the sparks around, and it's like, oh, well, looks like we're off then. And quickly she reaches out a hand and grabs a loose piece of stone from the ground and says, keepsake, and then like gives a little wave to she gives a little wave to Redding, and then in the general direction of the Yeti, and is like, and just poofs off into the spark of green, disappearing.
Very nice. Milo, the last thing you see when you wave to Redding and Yeti is Yeti is actually building something right next to his little hut, and it looks like a bunch of little snowmen, and he's working on the tiniest one right now, and he waves at you.
Oh, bless.
All right, very nice. And yes, Redding, you for a second are alone in this cold courtyard with Gaz at your side and Sarah above you. And this is where we're gonna stop for today.
Shit.
For the record, Redding, you have a backpack that has 2 potions of healing in it and 37 gold pieces.
Cool. I was wondering
nice.
what the backpack was.
Very nice. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for playing with me. It was a lot of fun. Now let's discuss favorite moments. Let's start with Malaika. Tell us about everyone. What do you think Milo did stupendously today? I really enjoy the movement that Milo has, the rolling, the going with the theme of being first a little bowling ball, then a snowball. It's very cute. I really like it.
Yes, snowball Milo. Yes.
Yeah. It's her... sorry. So I was saying her thing is that when she's in snow, eventually she gathers snow around her. So when she pops out as herself, there's always like a little noise that happens when she pops up and starts talking to people. It's great. It's great.
I really liked the little friendship that Milo and Redding developed together. Being punctuated by the giving him a rock as a keepsake was very cute. And I don't know why, but like this happened last time we played together too, as your other character, where Red went out to be a grumpy ass and just like became very attached to Malika's last character as well. So maybe it's just something about you, Malaika, something about Yeti.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you.
I loved the confusion at the beginning. Just like, what the is that? It was very fun to watch.
Oh, I meant to pick a self moment, aren't I? I hate doing this part.
You gotta.
I know.
You did so much.
Oh goodness. If I have to pick one, her little thoughts about what to wish for, because I was genuinely thinking, what would Milo wish for? What does she want more than anything in the world? If I can tack on a second one, like the kind of the thing with that's a gnome with Jenny, like that's a gnome, but no, that's not the right kind of gnome. What's going on with this gnome? And then like as soon as Jenny's like, oh, I was made by a person, she's like, all right, we're going to take you home and we're going to teach you how to be a gnome properly. that was pretty fun and funny.
Yeah, that was very cute. The instant camaraderie between the gnomes was very good. Also, I will add one more thing about Malaika, is that I think I was there for your first D&D session, if I remember correctly, a year ago. I think we're playing together. Yeah?
I think you probably were, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I think
that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just want to say that over the year, you became quite confident with mechanics, which I very much like. You used evasion, uncanny dodge. You knew what your character was good at. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. You were already good at roleplay last year, but this year you are a fully experienced player, and I'm like, yes, good, good.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree.
But,
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been a good year.
For sure. All right. Well, now let's talk about Ardanna and Jenny. What do you guys think?
Jenny's the best.
Jenny is great. I think for me, it would definitely be the off-the-wall plan of suddenly asking the dragon, who seems very aggressive and quite difficult to negotiate with. Hey, come to our place. Lots of books there. That was a move for sure.
Well, what better to guard a library than a dragon?
I loved the ending. I loved running for the construct at the end as you were going to leave. And the construct idea was very cool as well, to like build your own construct when you're a construct and stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed the second the green came, you're like, ow!
Yeah, you go.
The action that Jenny cast resulting in just the giggling bears running around the back of the cave. That was a great sequence, especially like kind of the theory that she could have taken it off, but she didn't, because she just left the bears having a little giggle in the back. Even though that might not be how it actually works. That's just a very funny idea of it working like that. So I love that.
I have it in my document, and then I went to save my document, and then now I need to talk. I liked in the middle of like a fairly introspective moment between Gaz and Jenny, of Gaz saying, well, you know, I can give you cast dream to have you talk to your loved one again.
Ardanna, you were saying detect thoughts, smart use.
Yeah.
If the trap was alive, definitely would have worked.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Welcome back, by the way. The stream is hopefully working. And now let's talk about Roe and Rivera.
Rivera is so cute.
Yes. I think my favorite thing about Rivera is how many conflicts and how many possible fights we have been avoiding just because Rivera is like, well, just let's talk to them. Because like the Yeti, it was either helping you or fighting you. And the Yeti is quite a serious opponent. So you were just like, nah, we're just friends now. You know, that was good.
Mine adds on to that Pictionary with the Yeti. That's good. That was good. That was a nice.
I love that bit.
Mine was Rivera trying interpretive dance. Yeah.
Can I just take a moment to say, Ventus, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag.
Welcome in.
God, is that you?
Hello, Redding, how are you?
That's the void.
All right. Any other Rivera moments?
Yeah, you go.
No, you go because I'm thinking.
Okay. I think this probably happened last time as well, where Rivera and Redding have like they're friendly, but they have like a little bit of hostility between them. And so that was very fun playing that out with you, Roy. Like they like each other, but they're like, why can't she just accept my fucking cloak? Like, why does she gotta do a whole thing?
It's like it's bloody. Oh my god.
Yeah. They have very different outlook on nature, I feel like.
I think my favorite was the my bears. Bears all over the place. Brown bears, polar bears, spirit bears.
All the way down.
It's bears all the way. All right, now let's talk about Redding then. Redding and Brendan. Okay, I called dibs on this in the break that we had. The disappointed, angry dad towards the dragon to stop the fight. That was good. That was very good. I really liked it.
And the fact that I rolled natural 20s to make it happen with a -4 charisma score just shows that it was meant to happen.
Yep.
Yes.
I enjoyed. I'm going to jump on that because I enjoyed the taking it that step further. Like you'd already convinced the dragon to stand down to let us go through their horde, and then you were like, "Oh, what about a ride out of here?" Yeah, I totally did it.
He also had like little comments like a dad would. Well, that's what happens when we don't negotiate, isn't that right, dragon? That was so good.
We use our words.
Yeah.
No dessert for you.
I mean, the dragon was really just a spoiled little kid having a tantrum to Red.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I will say
It was great.
The revival sequence of Sarah was pretty cool. I don't think I've seen that happen ever before. So that whole sequence where I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And Milo probably at the rock that she's born from, Milo would probably be like, I want to get a look at that later. I want to see what that's about. But we didn't have time to in this game. But yeah, that whole sequence and like pressing the lightning, the residual lightning to the scar, I was like, oh, that's pretty nifty. I like that.
Absolutely. I like any chance I get to play because I like Redding. He might be a grumpy old dude, but I like Redding. And Jenny is trying to figure out why he's grumpy. Because she doesn't understand it. She grew up with bards. All of them are like people. Like and then suddenly there's a person here who's just like, okay, weird.
I think the lovely thing is that he's grumpy, but he's also quite caring about everyone in the group, which really like makes it clear that it comes from a place of care, and he is like very goal oriented, pushes people along. He knows what he got to do. I think that's very useful presence, especially because we're going there, then we're going here. Oh my God, new people. It's very good. What about you, Brendan?
Yeah, I liked getting to demonstrate through his actions that he cared for people. Like the first thing that he did, particularly because he didn't want to attack this dragon, was casting a healing spell, and just without much prompting, going hunting and trying to get some furs for the rest. Helped me feel a bit better about being grumpy to people. So that was cool. And I also liked getting a bit more of a chance to explore or to talk a little bit more about his history. And that daughter, you idiot. So that was cool to get a bit of that. Which no one asked him about, which I'm glad about, because then we would have stalled. But that was
there was like processing time in Roe's Rivera brain where she was going like, but does that mean that and then both Roe and Rivera were like, oh no, we're not talking about that one.
Is the stream looking fucky-wucky to anyone else?
Yes, it is.
Is it? Sure is. It's back on an ad. Oh, okay. I've got an ad right now.
Okay, I can see us now. It looks.
I think it's back.
Okay.
No, that's okay. We'll just power through for the last bit, and then we'll get the outro. So, that was. I think that's all of the players. Yes. Yes. Oh, that means it's my turn.
It's
time for the DM. Stop! Don't try to ignore it, Daria. Come on, we've got to.
Yes, I'm trying to avoid it so much. Go on.
I loved the Yeti so much.
Yes.
The Yeti. Actually, you can't communicate it with this beast with words, and then taking the staff, having that like a menacing moment, but then turning it into Pictionary, and they're like, oh, it's just such a cute little Yeti. They're making the sculptures of us. Oh, I love them so much.
That Yeti was adorable.
I love the Yeti. What was it? Milo only got as she was disappearing, got to see the Yeti making the little sculpture of her, which was quite sweet. My one is actually Milo. I guess I didn't get to spend much time with him, but in the brief time, the character of Bob, or the ferryman, that was amazing. And of course, his relationship with Rivera made him even better, because it's just the visual of one person just nattering away, going, oh, this dead silence. Amazing. I would love to see Bob again. I think it'd be great. I don't know what he'd be doing. Well, we know exactly what he'd be doing, saying nothing on the boat, but still, it would be great to see him again.
Jenny's convinced that he is undead. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, yeah.
But what was great about that is he obviously likes Rivera, because he gave her this flask of the thing, whatever it is. So yeah.
Oh yeah, she's probably his bestie, his favorite person he's ever met.
Yeah, he's like, actually, I'm quite warm to her.
The second I heard that his name was Bob, I got that song from Bed Knobs and Broomsticks stuck in my head, so bobbing along, singing a song.
But yeah, I've got a bunch, so if someone hasn't gone yet, go, because
I like the descriptions of the skill challenge. The like the cold of the air and the trees and snow and all that. I could picture it perfectly in my head.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, adding on to that, one of the things that I wrote down was about that. When I DM, one of the things I look forward to the least is describing travel. I get really intimidated by that, and just like, well, it's just about you getting to the next combat encounter, so who cares? But I really like the way that you described the journey and punctuated it with several different skill checks. It was more than just like some DMs who would just say, well, let's do one group one and that's it. But there were like 3 or 4 different ones for different parts of the journey, which I really liked and appreciated. And I've got more, but you do a self one and then I'll shower you with more presents.
Okay, fine, I'll do a self one. I ain't scared. Okay, my favorite thing is giving you guys opportunities to approach encounters in different ways. Like the adventure itself, it just says, oh, on this leg of journey they get harrowed by this amount of these kind of enemies. And to me, these kind of encounters, they sometimes feel like just padding for the sake of padding, and because I wish for you guys to have like a sense of purpose and a better like timeline of how you're getting somewhere. These kind of needless fights, I'm like, look, if they're intending to avoid the fight and if they're smart about it and they use their surroundings or the faults of whoever they're looking at, why not just let them get an advantage over the situation. I'm pretty open to you guys avoiding things because I'm not like, ooh, they gotta get hurt by this. I'm like, nah, if they find it, they find it, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna jump back in. I assume that this was something that you started last session and something that you'll probably continue next session with the next group, but I really liked you having Gaz approach us one by one, asking us about our wishes. That was a really, as Redding kind of method to Jenny, a really nice character building moment and opportunity for us to share that stuff that I'm sure like we've all got in our own heads but haven't had a chance to share with each other because of the nature of this. So that was a really cool DM mechanism. And the one that I want to end with was a quote of yours. The powerful strokes of a dragon's muscles. Sounds like it comes out of a fanfic. So thank you for that.
You are most welcome. I'm sure you're going to use it well after the session. Anyway, I also like the wishes because they really gave us a bit of backstory on some characters that we would not otherwise, because the episodic nature of this and the fact that we only take like little snippets of actions from different characters doesn't really let us spread the wings in terms of what the character feels, what they were going through before this. So I feel like this is a nice little bite-sized way to show, oh hey, there's actually like depth and thought behind the character. So yeah,
exactly.
That was fun. And the fact that you guys are taking it very thoughtfully and not like brushing him aside or actually thinking about, okay, how can I explore this, just shows that you also know what your characters would be thinking, what they're feeling. That's also credit to you. All right, well, that means we need to draw the winner of today's little lottery. If anyone wants to put in another ticket before we draw, this is your last chance. Write exclamation point ticket and you'll be able to win a voucher for Troll Lord Gaming. Yes, to get something special from their selection. And while that goes on, I should also tell you that Corsairs Cove is affiliated with Wooden Forge, who are makers of amazing wooden paraphernalia and gaming accessories. Look at that in Ardanna's hand, so beautiful. What's the hand feel? What's the smell?
Oh, it's so soft, and like I am so like it. The wood smells like nothing here in Sweden. It's so
and this,
yes,
delicious. All right.
Can I just say, just quickly, sorry, to stall a little bit more, when you were talking about Troll Lord Games and saying we have tickets for Troll, for some reason, I completely forgot about our friends at Troll Lord Games, and I thought there was going to be, we've got tickets to Trolls 3. You can go to see Trolls 3.
Trolls
That
3,
classic.
you can get tickets to go watch that amazing movie in cinemas whenever it actually is. But we're also using music from Sirenscape. Their tunes are plentiful, powerful, emotional, evocative, and sexy. Thank you very much, Sirenscape, for that. And yeah, I think it is time to draw the winner. Let's see who we get.
Trolls 3, let's go.
Trolls 3, baby. You get to be in Trolls 4 if you're actually doing this. Okay, Psycho
No
1.
thanks.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much for participating.
Congratulations,
You
Psycho.
are getting a voucher. Welcome in. 16%. Okay, 17% chance. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Alrighty. Well, that means we need to skedaddle out of here. Let's talk about who we have been so far. Malaika, whomst are you? Where can we find you?
Hi, I am playing Milo, but I am also Malaika. I am a singer, actress, show gremlin, about town, burlesque sometimes, tired all the time. You can find me on Malaika Moon. Malaika Moon with 3 O's on Instagram when I'm posting. It is the holidays, so things are likely to be a bit quiet there, but this has been so much fun, and I cannot wait to see you guys. Hopefully not a full year before I see you guys again, but yeah.
Well,
Great.
if it is a full year, then there's almost a guarantee that our characters will hit it off again.
Oh, absolutely. They are probably going to get on sensationally. I can only picture that. But that's me.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Aren't you also part of the Teens in Space?
I
am
am part of the Teens Space.
Yeah.
Yes. You may know something I don't know because I am very bad at keeping up with Discord. So I am on that, and that might be a hint at something. It might not. I mean, I don't know. I should read the messages on Discord, and I would know whether that was a hint at something or not.
I think that's just Daria being a fan of your work.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's just me admiring and knowing more about your creative endeavors.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Next, let's talk about Ardanna.
Hello, I am Ardanna, or Joe, or Oi, you there if my regular players have any say in it. I am the GM and channel runner over at The Lore Right, and if you're interested in watching me and Terrace get up to all kinds of shenanigans, I also have a YouTube channel.
Very nice, very nice. Any specific things that are upcoming with Ardanna?
Well, I am posting shorts every day of me and Terrace playing bards in Baldur's Gate 3, so...
Nice.
Just
All
1 minute
right,
snippets of me and Terrace being insane, so...
Very good. All right, Roe, who are you?
Hi, I'm Roe Rowe, and despite the name, I have little to nothing to do with boating. I am a Perth-based educator and theatre maker. This was my last episode of Candlekeep this year, but you can catch me in the new year on Corsairs Cove on the Monday night Humblewood when we come back. I can also be found on Instagram at Cradventurers to see photos of my dog Charlie with the large ears, my many travel adventures, and upcoming projects if you happen to be based in Perth, Western Australia, to come and see me in a show sometime.
Let's go. I would if I was based in Western Australia. And what about Brendan? Who is this mysterious, tall and handsome man?
Daria, we're on stream. Can you please just try to keep it calm?
Okay. I'll put my pants back on. Go on.
I am Brendan. Thursday is my normal time slot here as part of the Monsters and Magic crew with Daria and Karen and sometimes Josh when he feels like DMing us. I am going to be back tomorrow night for Daria's last shot DMing this year and the last Candlekeep. So tune in if you want to see me annoy Daria with my power gaming and then flatter her with compliments that I really don't mean at the end.
We know. You're a pretty bad actor. I hope that's not your career.
Ow!
Anyway.
Daria endured so much bullying from me tonight. She's been waiting to pay it back. So
listen, it's time. It's time. I finished the session. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Brendan. And I have been your DM for the evening. My name is Daria, and I'm usually playing joyously with Karen and Josh on Thursdays, and withstanding presence of Brendan. And I will be back tomorrow to play with all of these, well, some of these lovely people in the last Candlekeep episode of the year. I wish to see you there. And thank you very much for having us. Thank you, Karen and Josh, for being our techs for the evening. And yeah, Josh, where do you take us from here?
We are going to go and raid the Eldritch Scribe. Because those wonderful beings are probably doing a little bit of world building. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here at Corsairs Cove this evening. We will be back, as Daria says, tomorrow evening for the finale of Candlekeep Mysteries, with the entire Humblewood crew, actually. The entire Monsters and Magic crew will be on the stream, but Daria and I have swapped seats. We will also be joined by Rachel Foucault from Midnight of Madness, and there's one other person. Is there? Am I lying? I might be lying. That's 4. Yeah.
I think you are lying.
I am lying. As usual. Well, Rach is a maybe, because Rach has the co of the vid, so we may need a sub, but like Ro's available, so maybe she wants to come back. I don't know. Yes, maybe.
Yeah,
Look, we'll see.
I'll
throw it open to everybody. See.
Yeah, I feel like Ro signified that she might be interested.
Ooh, me! Ooh, pick me! So there is one other thing.
Because she gets my Auntie Donna references.
Yes. And what we might have at the end, just a little bit of a get-together, a little bit of a... For having another Christmas party, I don't know if we are. It's no promises, no guarantees. But I thought, Daria, we could take a little second breaklet before said Christmas party and have everybody who wants to jump in. And you can DM, like, 10 or 12 people if they're, like, up for it.
Yeah, that would not even be the first time I DM 10 people.
For a Christmas party only, no combat. Unless, I mean, your DM's choice. But I thought that could be fun.
Dude, I DM'd a combat with 10 people before. I know I can survive that.
I mean, if you put Hjort and the solstice, like, ooh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, alright, yeah,
please, only let it be the party.
Alrighty. Well, we'll go away from here now. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. You guys covered it marvelously, so we'll go away. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.